Welcome to LoganRobo's channel, broadcasting live on twitch.tv/LoganRobo and on youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Tonight's game is Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit. Oh, please hold for TTS.
Subscribe on that thing. We've missed you. I hope you are feeling better. Smile. Happy 5th sub, baby.
5 subscription babies. And as we've all recently learned, we now need to come up with 5 names for each of those babies. I've missed all you guys too. Thank you so much for re-upping your sub, Wendy. Also, you may have noticed I've been saying the YouTube URL wrong this whole time. I've been leaving out the @ youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Thank you for tuning in to twitch.tv/LoganRobo and youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Please enjoy the stream. And we are live! How is everybody doing? I missed you all! I've been, for those who haven't been on Discord and haven't seen, I got sick over Easter weekend, and I had to cancel a couple of streams. But I'm back now, feeling mostly better, and, okay, you guys know I don't really like ASMR stuff, but there's some sounds I find satisfying, so wait, Queen Katie, rated with a party 3? Queen Katie, how you doing? I don't know if we have any mods here yet, so I'm gonna do a quick shout out for Queen Katie here. How was your stream? I saw right before I went live that you were doing Reverse 1999. Oh, and ValTube's over on YouTube. I'll read all the comments in just a minute here. But first, we got the shout out down there. Is there no audio on this? Oh, there we go. It was just very quiet.
Yes. The fat lady's gone now.
Thank you for the raid, Queen Katie. How was your stream? Okay, I gotta find out something for you guys. I mentioned before, I don't like ASMR. I'm not really big into sounds and things, but I love the sound. Like, have you seen those commercials they have at movie theaters when they're pouring the Coca-Cola over like the ice and everything? So whenever I'm sick, I like having some cherry 7-Up. And so let me know if you like these sounds. The can opening. And then I got a glass here with some ice and just the... Actually, the ice didn't make much noise. I think it melted a little bit. But I'm gonna have this to sip on in addition to my water, because I think that'll hopefully make me feel better. But how are you? I was worried that like everyone would have forgotten about me by the time I came back. Every time I'm gone, I just assume that other people have no sense of object permanence with me. So thank you all for those who are here, for waiting it out for me to get better over my cold. Let me read a few comments in the chat and then we will get into the game. Extemporaneous was here bright and early with a lurk and a random Transformers check. Cerebros. Who is bro and why is bro so important? Well, Extemporaneous, if you're lurking or watching the VOD, you did a random Transformers check a while ago of Fortress Maximus. I said he was a little guy who turns into a head of a medium-sized guy who turns into the head of Fortress Maximus. Cerebros is the medium-sized guy. Also, would you rather have the ability to teleport to any place you can visualize or have the ability to teleport others to your location? I feel like teleporting to anywhere I can visualize would be more useful. Like, teleporting others to me, that sounds like something that would turn to supervillainy really quickly for a lot of people. The only thing you gotta find out is if teleporting other places, if I'm guaranteed I can do it safely. Like, I'm not gonna teleport into somebody because I didn't picture that person there. But yeah, teleporting other places. But thank you for the lurk, Extemporaneous. Oak says, Longa. I am streaming with Nora for like a half hour more, but we'll be here soon. Oh, Oak, we'll see you soon. Miss the both of you. Lesbian Wolf says, hi. Welcome back, Lesbian Wolf. I've been thinking, by the way, I probably should call you full Lesbian Wolf rather than Wolf, because we do have Beowulf, and we should probably keep that prefix to make sure that we understand it. But good to see you. Oak said, we've missed you. I've missed all of you too. Like, you have no idea how much I've been jonesing for these streams. And Wendy, thank you again for re-upping your sub 45 months. I feel like in the intro, I'm in that narrator voice, so I probably didn't sound authentically appreciative, but I really appreciate it. Wendy, how are you doing? Over on YouTube, ValTube is saying, I'm even earlier, let's go. Opinion says, hello. ValTube says, hi. Oh, is this a new person? Bread says, Cherry 7-Up is peak. Says, we didn't forget. Bread, are you, did you change your name for something. But yes, it is very good. It's what I have whenever I'm sick.
No, Lamau, don't sweat, Heidi. TT, you're totally good. Smile, I'm good.
Okay, just want to make sure. By the way, Wendy, I think you weren't the only person who had issues with going to see the Miku movie. I saw someone posting online about a bad experience where people were just really noisy during the Miku movie. Is it that Minecraft has made people forget how to see movies? But thank you so much for the 10 bits, Wendy. I hope you're doing well. And Toby is over on YouTube saying, hi, Logan. Glad to hear you're feeling better. Have a nice stream. I hope my voice sounds better, you guys. I hope this won't be kind of like, I remember when we did the mouth washing, the second stream for that, and I was still sick and my voice sounded awful. And I didn't realize it until I watched the VOD, and I'm like, holy cow, I sounded atrocious. But how are all of you? Let me say hi to a few more people here on Twitch. Lesbian Wolf said, chat, I'm so sleep deprived. I forgot the word for dog. Called a dog a woof woof. Well, I'm assuming that whoever heard you knew what you were talking about. It's like a Pokemon. It says woof, woof woof, so it's a woof woof. Magpie says, caw, Magpie flying in. How we doing? Feeling okay, Logan? Don't strain yourself. Thank you, Magpie. I am feeling a lot better. I appreciate that. And when he was some dances, said I've been on this case for Evzies now. I like that, for Evzies. About to read a summary of what happens. I feel like I'm so close to the end, but bro, this thing is dragged. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna finish it tonight. And there's Queen Katie with the raid of the party of 3. Rat said, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and in between. Wendy says, Katie. And Rat says, yo, Katie, how was the raid, Queen Katie? How are all of you? Everybody, Extemporaneous, Oak, Lesbian Wolf, Wendy, Magpie, Queen Katie, Rast, Valtube, Opinion, Bread, Toby. How are all of you guys doing? And again, Bread, if you can let me know who you were before the name change. I get so confused by name changes. All right, let's load up the game. If I remember correctly, last time we just finished the mind chess for Carmelo Gusto, right? And so, hang on, I may need to pause every now and then my audio to cough. Still like a post-nasal drip thing. I hope I cut that out in time. You didn't hear that gross cough. But yes, so we just finished mind chess with him. And so we got to be catching him soon, right? I'm assuming he'll have like at least 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 7 cross-examinations. But we're going to do this tonight. We're going to catch this guy, this murder man. I still hope that we're going to find out that he has like a injury on his head. That's why his hat's red. Because in the past, he wore red clothes because he always was cutting himself. Now he wears brown clothes because he's always smearing poop on himself. Is true. 18 years ago, I developed aguzia. Did we figure out how to pronounce that? Aguzia? That's where you can't taste anything or can't taste certain things, right? It's a tasting disorder. What's aguzia? Aguzia? Is that the name for both Europe and Asia? Aguzia? Is a taste disorder that makes it so you can't taste anything at all. A confectioner's worst nightmare. Mr. Fender, is that what Mr. Tangaroa had as well? Well, he could taste some stuff, he just couldn't taste salt, right? No, the big man had what they call dissociated taste disorder. So just multiple taste disorders, okay. Basically, some things he could taste just fine, while others had no flavor at all. So he suffered too. Can't have been easy. Not when there wasn't any way to cure it on the market. Which is why you needed Mr. Tangaroa's cookbook. Do you admit now that that was the real reason you entered the contest? It was only one of the reasons. I wasn't lying when I said I wanted the title. When I put my mind to something, it gets done. And I won't lose to anybody. I will seriously kill other people. I will not kill other people. I may not have been able to taste it then, but I still knew my stuff was good enough to win. Oh? So you went into the final thinking you stood a good chance of winning. Well, I think we decided last time. That was why he brought his kid with him, right? That his kid was helping him taste test stuff, I think. I already miss you guys. I know we're like 2 minutes into this. Let me read some more comments in the chat, though. Let's see. Lesbian Wolf says, yay, stream time. Quick said, BS? BS, what? Said, watch out, the Queen of Raids and her bats are flying into your kingdom. Enjoy the raid. What the ba-ba-ba?
I'd about y'all, but I think a cookbook full of secret remedies not confirmed by the government and not really tested has got to be illegal.
No, that's what, yes. We talked before. Either that or the fact that they have all these cures and they're just hoarding them. I mean, I know that you have like copyrights to the medicines you produce and things like that, but I'm pretty sure that if someone discovered like a cure for, say, cancer or heart disease or something like that, and is like, no, I'm just gonna put it in a book and give it away in a contest someday, maybe, I think the government would come down on that person pretty darn hard. And, I see over on my overlay that we have a first time chat from Rye Bread. Oh, is this Bread? Over on YouTube, saying first time watching on Twitch. Are you the same Bread? Do we have multiple Breads? Are we in Bread right now? Not in like the incest way, but just inside of Bread. I'm gonna have to read some more of the chat. But welcome, Rye Bread. If you've seen on YouTube, so you probably know the deal with our schedule and everything. But welcome. I hope you enjoy your time here. Queen said, I need to pee so bad, BRB law. But yay, Ace Attorney, I will update once I'm back. We'll see when you get back. Queen Katie Magpie says, I found out today that A03 was scrapped for AI generation purposes, and I'm furious about it. Oh, scraped for AI generation purposes. Oh, that's awful. Oh, I'm so sorry, Magpie. I'm not just to you, but to anyone who's uploaded there. Is it something that they allowed to have happen or that like somebody did without their knowledge? Lesbian Wolf said, I like the ASMR of pouring cups, can openings, walking on snow, and walking on hardwood. I wanted to get get a recording of the sound of walking on snow for Vero this past winter, because Vero's never experienced it, but we didn't have a big enough snowfall this year. Lesbian Wolf said to Magpie, me too. I don't like AI having my fanfics. Over on YouTube, Opinion says YouTube picture-in-picture is completely refusing to work. I have issues with that sometimes too, so I'm sorry, Opinion. Bread says, I did change my name. Oh, so who were you before? Valtube said, what was your username before? I'm doing fine. Opinion says, I've had a bad week, but it's almost over. Hopefully we can take your mind off of that, Opinion. Valtube said, hope next week could be better. Yes, we're gonna catch Gusto. Thank you with the heart, says Opinion. Dermo says, morning all, how you doing, Dermo? Toby said, how many loaves are there? At least 2 loaves of the bread. And Dermo said, probably won't comment much since I'm playing the new Kodaka game, but nice to see. Oh, 100 line, I wanna play that. I think I am going to wait until it's been out for a little while, because when I played Raincoat, it was like right when it released. And a lot of people didn't watch because they wanted to avoid spoilers. So all of you, your homework is play the 100 line Last Defense Academy. Is that the full title? It's the new game by the makers of Danganronpa and 999 and AI the Somnium Files. And my understanding is also that this is going to be the first game that they are going to own the rights to, so they've been investing a lot into it. And so it's good for supporting them. So go play that, not right now, but in like 3 hours from now. Play that game so that I can play it on stream soon, because I want to. They say it has 100 endings. Anyway. Oh, so you went into the final thinking you stood a good chance of winning? Of course. What was it that Fender said about what Mr. Tangaroa thought of Mr. Gusto's creations? He said they tasted good, right? Mr. Gusto's creations were a perfect balance of flavor and design, at least up through the semi-final. But disappointingly, his entry for the final was subpar on both counts. So in the final, he did not have Artie Frost helping him with design, and he did not have his kid telling him how things tasted. What the papa?
Playing it right now with you on in the background.
Hey!
I'm enjoying it so far. Day 7 of 100.
Thank you so much for the 10 bits tip. So I gotta go ask you, tip. This is important. So you probably have a good sense of how long the days go if you've done a week in there, because it's like 100 days long. About how long would you say is one playthrough of that game likely to be? And then I can translate that into Logan time, just for, future planning purposes. But how you doing, Tiff? Hope you didn't mind my extremely long response today on Discord to your question in the Transformers channel. I've been trying to catch up on the conversations there. I missed a lot while I was sick, quite clearly. All right, let's keep playing here. We were told that your entry for the final was far from the prize-winning taste sensation you describe. What happened, Mr. Gusto? What went wrong that day? Fine. You want me to talk? I'll talk, but you're not going to like what I have to say. Okay, so we are having a cross-examination. This doesn't feel like his final defense against getting caught, so I'm guessing we'll have this one and at least one more, maybe 2. I hope not much more than that, because if it's more than that, we're not finishing tonight. My entry for the final.
Frost and I were working together right up through the semi-final. I handled the flavor, he did the designing. But I wanted to face Tango in the final on my own. No help, just me and my skills. So I helped Frost with his entry, but mine, I did alone. If it didn't taste good in the final, that's on me. What can I say? I lacked training.
Okay, I'm not noticing any obvious lies, unless it's that he helped Frost, but Frost didn't help him, because I thought, like, he helped Frost with the flavored ice, but we decided that that was, like, days earlier. So it's not that, I decided to help him, but I wanted to go on my own. So that's probably the lie, but let's keep going.
And that's all there is to it. Happy now!
I've been playing it for about 5 hours, so take that as you will. I have no clue about Logan time for this game RN, but I'll keep you updated if that changes.
Well, okay, well, that gives me a good idea because, 7 days translating to 5 hours. So yeah, I'll extrapolate that later. That's very helpful. Thank you very much, Tiff, for the 10 bits. I appreciate that. All right, we'll get to some background music, then I'll read some more of the chat.
And that's all there is to it. Happy now!
I'm never happy. Not without that man. And even then I act as though I'm not happy. Arg! There don't seem to be any obvious contradictions in his testimony.
Yep, not that I thought it'd be easy to get anything real out of him. He's managed to not let slip what really happened for 18 years after all. Why don't you try pushing him a bit, Miles Areno? See if you can't shake something loose.
I think I just might have to, Fender. Rebuttal, my entry for the final. All right, you guys know the drill. Before every cross-examination here, we save, we press every statement, then we figure out where we're going to present evidence. But I got to read some more in the chat. I have missed you guys so freaking much. Like, I was so bummed that I had to cancel the first stream I canceled because of a work thing. But then like 2 more after that. It was not fair. Let's see. Wendy says, also, saw the Miku movie last Friday. My theater crowd was so obnoxious, they talked and giggled the whole time, but I really did enjoy the movie. Haven't stopped thinking about it, which is how I know it was a good movie. Yeah, because I think I saw you said, did you say that was it in the chat? Or, no, it wouldn't have been in the chat. It must have been on Discord, because I knew I had seen that. But yeah, apparently, like, I saw some other people posting similar things online, and so I worry that the Minecraft movie has ruined audiences forever now. When he said, I wish I could see it again, but it was only showing last weekend. Oh, it was like a 1 weekend only thing? Was it like a Fathom Events type of thing? So the best part, though, is we got codes from the movie, and you can redeem them in Project Sakai. You get a bunch of good freebies and such. Oh, that's cool. That's a good way to do microtransact. Well, actually, I don't know. It's good if it's like a movie based on it, not if it's just like any promotion. Like, hey, you got to go buy a Carl's Jr. cheeseburger to get the thing, you know? Someone said chicken jockey, wait, wrong movie in the middle of the movie. Yeah, it's Minecraft. Minecraft ruined everything. Queen Katie says, I'm back from P. How you doing, Queen Katie? Rast says, both times I saw the Minecraft movie, one for the birthday and another for fun, I didn't have a bad time like other theaters. I felt like I had the right balance. There was all the fun meme cheering that was going on, but nobody went too far. Cam said, greeting folks, Streamly checking. Hope you're feeling better, Logan. Have fun stream, take breaks if you need to, remember to hydrate. Thank you very much, Kim. I am feeling a lot better. I'm still not 100%, but I'm close. I hope you're doing well. I'll for the hydration, I'm gonna have some more of my cherry 7-Up. Thank you very much, Kim. And over on YouTube, Opinion says, I have decided to watch YouTube on my laptop instead of my phone. This is weird. The stream is too big. I can get even bigger. I can get even bigger, as you guys know. Now I'm huge. I'm huge on your laptop. I'm also very self-conscious of my face. I got a haircut today. The first day after I get a haircut, I always feel like my face looks too big because my hair looks so small suddenly. All right. Let's play some of the game.
Frost and I were working together right up through the semi-final. I handled the flavor, he did the designing.
Hold it! Frost was in charge of designing the work you both submitted while you handled the taste.
Yeah, he was a sculptor, a craftsman, and his sense of design was second to none. But he was clueless about confectionery, which is where I came in. We each did what the other couldn't.
So maybe the lie will be early on that he shouldn't have been able to do flavor either. But again, it's because he had his son, right? We have the picture of them and their sons, right? Maybe we'll have to present, that as like evidence later to say who else could have possibly done the taste testing. And this kid, look at this. This kid's even eating a little chicken on a stick. That is the face of a man who's like, this chicken on a stick tastes like chicken that is on a stick. And boy, did you not have an eye for aesthetics, not even for the simple stuff. How do you like me now? It's an impressive phoenix, but watch in a minute, he's gonna say that it's supposed to be like a gecko or something. Oh, the national symbol of Zangfa. Oh yeah, the phoenix! That's awesome. Mr. Edgeworth must love phoenixes. Whenever he's sleeping, I can hear him in the other room going like, oh, phoenix, oh, phoenix, oh, phoenix. Clearly, he's a man who loves birds. I'll say, pretty different to the stuff you were pumping out 18 years ago. Behold, the fruits of my training. I've dedicated my whole life to my craft. But back then, we both needed each other's help, so we joined hands until the final. But I wanted to face Tanjiro in the final on my own. No help, just me and my skills. Hold it! What the
I love you imitating the clapping sprite, Mama.
Oh, thank you so much, Wendy. It's like it's like the same when like Phoenix slams the table. I feel like I need to do some of the stuff they're doing. I don't always point like when Edgeworth points, but I appreciate that you do like that, because it amuses me. And so thank you. I definitely wouldn't want it to annoy anybody, so thank you. Let's finish up this pressing, and then I'll read some more in the chat, okay? So, you're serious about winning the title then? Of course, the art of confectionery is my life. Why wouldn't I have wanted to be crowned the greatest? But I still had a lot to learn back then. Guess it's no surprise my work wasn't up to scratch. But the title wasn't the only thing you wanted. There was the cookbook too. And you wanted the book even more than you wanted the title. Isn't that right, Mr. Gusto? Huh? I forgot that she's here. Hi, Gavel. Mr. Edgeworth, you are badgering a witness who is still suffering the effects of today's attack. I cannot allow this harassment to continue. Oh, I understand your order, but... Ignore him, Mr. Gusto. You need not answer that vile prosecutor's question. But please, do continue your testimony in your own time. Bumbo! How you doing, Bumbo? Okay, I will read some chat. Bumbo, hi! Queen Katie says, so Reverse 1999 was fun today. It's the 1.5 anniversary now.
The thoughts and opinions expressed by LoganRobo do not always match LoganRobo's own thoughts or opinions. He says it for the lulz, or else he wouldn't have said many of the things he says.
You know, I know that's presented in a kind of humorous, PSA type of a way, but that is 100% true. A lot of the time, I'm just goofing around. You know, but I think you guys can tell. It's pretty obvious when I joke around. But Rukov, thank you for the 10 bits. How are you doing? I hope you're well. I've missed you, Rukov. I've missed all of you guys. As I was saying, I was reading Queen Katie's comment, said, I did some more of Chapter 7. Things are going nuts and I'm not even halfway into the chapter. Magpie says, luckily I've heard AO3 is submitting a DMCA takedown on behalf of all of its users. I would hope so. Hang on. I also have an extra decongestant with me and a roll of some toilet paper in case I get a bit of a runny nose, so I need to just kind of do a little dab there. Sorry, I'm not 100% better from my cold. But I hope that goes well, Magpie. Wendy says, Katie, I feel like you would love Cookie Run Kingdom. It gives your cutesy vibe.
Also, Rukov is going to bed you, so you know what that means.
Purge.
Kidney stab.
Glow!
Not all.
Oh, Rukov! I mean, I have another one of those, but still. But thank you for the 10 bits, Rukov. Sleep well. I'm sure you got an early morning. Thank you for popping in before bed. I really appreciate it. Good night, Rukov. And thank you for the 10 bits. Queegate said, yes, I played it actually. Sadly, I haven't got back to it. I need a new tablet for it. Lesbian Wolf said, I'm sleepy, but a pretty good mood. Played Persona 5 Strikers all day. Are you enjoying it? I do want to play that sometime, preferably soon. It looks like fun. Queen Katie said, should we do a prediction? Oh, good call. Yes, we should, Queen Katie. This is going to be over here on Twitch. So those on YouTube, I'm sorry you won't be able to gamble away, but I don't know how to set up. I don't think you can do points on YouTube. Let's see. Will Logan finish the case by 3-hour mark? Okay, yeah? Nah. I will give you a full 5 minutes to submit. So go ahead. Go ahead and gamble away your points. Speaking of YouTube, I see Opinion going, that must have been when my head got big. And Derma says, oh gosh. That is the appropriate reaction in my head. I have a large Irish head. Rast says, doing well, finally set everything up for streaming from my computer, started making clips for myself for shoutouts and views, and then started streaming different games. Nice! Doc said, an Ace Attorney stream in this economy? Huzzah! How you doing, Doc? Quikita said, either way, I have much faith in Logan for beating the case. Well, yeah, you probably would know best of all, because you know how long this case is, right? Rast says, same, either he catches up to chat the entire stream, or he finishes the case. There's Rye Bread! Same first time watching on Twitch, and yeah, we'll get back to him, hang on. Still just got that lingering cough from this cold. It'll probably be like that for a while. My apologies.
So I helped Frost with his entry, but mine I did alone.
Hold it! So you're saying Mr. Frost didn't help you at all? But he'd helped you until then, correct? It's a bit strange for him to stop so late in the contest, no?
Strange or not, is the truth. Could be he had his reasons too. I wouldn't know.
Okay, maybe. Well, if Gusto was helping Frost with the flavor, obviously then Gusto was bringing his son to help him. Maybe his son was going out of town? Maybe Gusto lost custody of his son and his, like, wife or ex-wife was taking him for the week? Something like that?
If he's lying, it's gonna be a headache to prove. 18 years is a long time. Not unless that gizmo of yours has a built-in lie detector, Kay.
Yeah, if it did, I'd have stolen this show from Mr. Edgeworth long before now. Don't worry, Thunder. I can tell when he's lying. No doohickeys assistance required. Please, Mr. Gusto, continue your testimony. All right, last statement here.
If it didn't taste good in the final, that's on me. What can I say? I lacked training.
And taste buds that functioned. And yet, I heard that your creations prior to the final were scored highly for their flavor. So what went wrong? Was there some kind of cooking accident on that day?
No, nothing like that.
Oh, do you think his son was in an accident? Maybe his son was in the hospital.
It was. I told you, I had a taste disorder. My sense of taste failed me. It's as simple as that.
Maybe, because we know he has some connection to Zhangfa, and they're doing something shady. Maybe they were like, maybe they hired him to try and win the cookbook, and they didn't realize that he was using his son to taste stuff, and they took his son hostage? Maybe there's like that kind of a misunderstanding, kind of a, you know, a very farcical hostage taking. But Mr. Frost's entry was complimented on its flavor. Your sense of taste hadn't failed you then. Did something happen overnight? I don't think he's gonna spill any more beans, Mr. Edgeworth. Then perhaps I should ask him about something else. Okay. I'm assuming we'll be able to come back and change our answer if we want. I mean, I feel like we're on a good path here, but let's ask about someone. Let's ask about Mr. Frost. What was the nature of their relationship? You knew Mr. Frost from before the contest, correct?
Hard. You remembered, I see. My son and Frost used to go to elementary school together.
And this will lead to saying that the kid was the one who did the tasting, right? It was no coincidence that you both entered the contest, correct?
Yeah, I heard about it first. Then I told Frost. I knew he'd be interested. He was always short of cash for his sculptures.
By the way, running out of time on the prediction. I think less than a minute remains. Go ahead and gamble your points. I'll read some more of the chat in just a little bit once I figure out where we're going here. That's right. Mr. Frost was supposedly always in financial trouble, wasn't he? The cookbook is really worth that much, huh? I see that glint in your eye, kiddo, but don't get your great thieving hopes up. It was worth a lot back then. But these days, you can find most of this stuff in there on any drugstore shelf. Oh, bummer! Why did you do some crime? So literally every last contestant only ever had eyes for that cookbook, I see. An 18-year-old mystery. And the key to unraveling it is finally in my grasp. I just need to remember everything Fender told me about what he and my father discovered. Okay, so that didn't sound right, so let's go ahead and change it to something else. Press. Let's have him talk about, what was it, the semi-final then. And maybe we'll be able to trip him up on something and show that he had to have his kid there. Let me pause and read some more in the chat, because I miss you guys. Let's see. Quick said, I don't know why BS was at the start of my raid message. Probably from my copy-paste. I didn't know if you were just, like, saying that it was BS or something like that. Ras says, yo, first-time chatter, Bread. Welcome to Twitch chat, Bread. Oh, yeah, I should also post here, because if first time on Twitch chat, the link tree with all the social media stuff. Doc said, yup, cured cancer. If you bake a really good cake, you can have it. Oh, there's Bone Glove. Bone, how you doing? Said Rye Bread, huh? Funny. I watched someone called Rye Toast. Ooh, well, Rye Toast. It's like a Pokemon evolution. Start as Rye Bread, then Rye Toast. Rye Bread said 2 different breads. Ras says, in the breadverse, we're gonna see Queen Bat Bread next. Rye Bread says, lol. Quigator said, by the way, I may be booping one last Case 3 clip tonight, as well as maybe a Case 4 clip right off the bat after its intro. We'll see if we get to the intro. I'd love it if we get to the intro. Magpie says, AO3 is furious about it. It looks like things were locked down away from public view might be safer. Okay, so it wasn't, yeah. So between their DMCA claim and this, at least they didn't do it. They didn't, like, betray their user base then. Quigator says, to be fair, 100 line has 100 endings. I'd like to think it'd be a good while to work out. Wow. I don't think I'll be able to do that many playthroughs. I usually only do like one playthrough of games, but maybe we could do multiples of that. Wendy says, I completely forgot about Ring Code came out, not gonna lie. I haven't heard about it in months. I still think it was a good game. Over on YouTube, Dermo says, it's right at the threshold where you could beat it, but I wouldn't bet on. Oh, we talked about this case tonight? Ain't gotta dab the old nose there again. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'll surprise y'all, and I'll be really good. Or maybe everyone will suddenly give up on talking to me, and I'll be left by myself and just have no choice but to play rather than yap. Cherry 7-Up. It's like cherry and 7-Up. That should be their motto. Lesbian Wolf says, AO3 is very protective of the stuff on the site. They have applied for DMCA takedowns. Writers are locking down their fix, so you need to be logged in on AO3 to refix as a result. The person who scraped AO3 wasn't logged into an account. Okay. That's such a scummy thing to do, though. Magpie says, AO3 are such a great company, absolute cornerstones of fandom and the internet. When he says tip, Doc says, Logan time, lol. When he says, oh, I forgot my wafers, I need chocolate sweetness. Bubba says, how are y'all tonight? I'm doing a lot better than I was the last couple of nights. I just woke up, last night was like the first night since I got sick where I was able to sleep through the whole night. It was so good. And Dermo over on YouTube says, I liked Raincoat a lot. I liked it too. Obviously, I won't discuss spoilers because there's some people in chat who haven't played it. But it had that flavor from Danganronpa. I mean, it was obviously a very low budget game, but it was fun. I liked, and some fun characters. I felt like these side quests were, for the most part, very weak. Like, they put those in to kind of pad out the game, and they were all just a little bit half-baked. But the actual main storyline I thought was really good, and the game mechanics were very similar to Danganronpa in a good, positive way. It was fun. Did something change between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gusto?
Not really. The only difference between the semi-final and the final was that Frost wasn't helping me.
So, you already completed your final entry without Mr. Frost's help?
I may not have had his designs to lean on, but I knew I was still solid when it came to flavor. So the visuals were the only thing that changed between the semi-final and the final.
You sure, Gusty, old pal? Gonna have to call you out on that one, I'm afraid. It wasn't just his looks that got a big thumbs down come judgment time. It got trashed on flavor, too. Doesn't sound like much like a winner to me. Is Eustace Winter even still in the room here? I feel like he should chime in, but I can't keep track of him. We need to put need to tie a bell around that kid's neck. Despite his confidence, Mr. Gusto failed on flavor too. The lack of Mr. Frost's assistance shouldn't have affected that. So, was there some other difference? An 18-year-old mystery, and the key to unraveling it is finally in my grasp. Okay, so that could be it? Because he's saying, only difference, so if we find a different difference, that'll obviously call out this lie. Let's see what happened if we just kept on this same track, though, first. See all the options that we might be able to present evidence to. I mean, I feel like we were on a good path here, but the fact that it gave us the option to change course made me think we should, so we'll stay the course. No, I'll just stick with what I have for now. Oh, okay, so that means nothing changed. Okay, so it's got to be this then. The only difference between the semifinal and the final was Frost wasn't helping me. So let's see if we can find something else to present some other difference. Documents received from Fender, including comments in red. Statute of limitations. Okay, that's just, yeah. No detailed autopsy report. That just has to do with the murder. Gallery pamphlet. That's not really relevant to this. Winterwing photo, statues matching those made by the victim 18 years ago. The used blowtorch. The luminous cloth gifted to Bound by Scone, lost 18 years ago, only to be rediscovered floating in the fountain. Pisces statue sketch. The poison gas ingredients. The ultimate cookbook, a book containing formulas for creating a cure for taste disorders and other chemical and pharmaceutical items. Finger marks. Finger marks left by someone in Tangaroa's room. No accompanying prints. Salt lamp, a photograph of the murder weapon from the IS-7 incident. It's a salt lamp stained with Frost's blood. Family photo, a photo of Frost, Gusto, and their sons. Gusto's son visited his father daily up through the semi-final. Okay, so this shows a different, this was another difference, that his son stopped showing up. And so we'll probably present that, and that'll show the son was the one who was taste testing, right? Lift card, used by Frost Transport Ice 18 years ago, top platform is wet. Designed by Paul Halik, one of Judy Bound's prized possessions. Sketches depicting exactly what Larry saw, handmade by Bound, slightly melted after being kept in her pocket. Gemini case analysis, results of the analysis conducted on the melted contents of the Gemini case. Let's double check this. Sugar matches sugar found in the pale blue liquid in Artie Frost's room 18 years ago. Also, in the fountain, also a match. So it's gotta be the picture, right? So let's save. The other thing was just the statute of limitations for dummies. But let's save and present the photo and show that that was also a thing that changed between the semifinals and the finals. And therefore, that must be the reason why he wasn't able to taste anything anymore. So yeah, right here, family photo. Fingers crossed. Objection! Hey, we got it! I can think of one significant difference between the semifinal with the Oh, Nora! Rated with a party at 2! How you doing, Nora? I think we still don't have any mods here. Vero and Crystal are sadly MIA and Rukov is in bed, so I'll go ahead and do a shout out for you. How was the rest of the stream they had? Let's see, you guys were playing Ace Attorney, right? How far did you get? Have you guys finished the final case before Rise from the Ashes? Why is it not doing the shout out? Did I not do the shout out correctly? No clip is showing up. Well, no shout out clip. Let me try turning the overlay guru off and back on, and then we'll try one more time for a shout out. Shout out at Nora, and thank you for the raid. I'm assuming Oak is with you. If this doesn't work, I will play some more game till we get some music. Then I'll read some more in the chat. But welcome. I hope it went well. Oh, there we go. I can't have you protecting me for the rest. Oh, then dress falls off. Oh, she was wearing that under the dress? Oh, just in her imagination.
everything.
Does that mean that suit of armor was her underwear? Can you do that? Can you wear armor as undergarments? I mean, I know that there's a clothing company called Body Armor. Maybe it's that type of thing. Anyway, how was the stream? I will play till we get some background music, then I'll read some of the chat, but welcome. I can think of one significant difference between the semi-final and the final, Mr. Gusto. Your son. This is him in the photograph, correct? We haven't established which child is which. For now, I'm assuming the one closest in proximity to you is yours, but that will probably turn out to be false. You told me he was here with you up through the semi-final.
He was. What of it?
What indeed? He was here with you until the semi-final, until he suddenly wasn't for the final. And just as suddenly, your work went from being lauded for its flavor to being lambasted for it. I don't think that's a coincidence, do you? Oh, I have logic in my brain. He wasn't just spending quality time with his father. He was playing a much more pivotal role than that. Now I can read some chat. Queegator said, I'm doing good. I suffered some trauma from Reverse 1999 today. Rat said, doing well. Gonna stream in a few moments. Doc said, doing well. Playing some more P3P. Bubba said, nice. I've not been doing much. Just chilling today. Rye Bread says, I'm back. My computer died. Are you gonna let me know what your old username was on YouTube? So I know what your old name was? Rye Bread. Rat said, that is what she said. Logan, what was what she said? Lesbian Wolf says, giant. Doc says, Queegator said, captions, no. It's not a chicken on his dash. Rast says, oh no, it's his chicken on a stick. What he said, ain't gonna lurk for a little bit, BRB. Thank you for the lurk, Queek. Wendy, thank you for the lurk. I can't talk right now. See you when you get back. Doc says, this, I'm not gonna say that word, on a chick tastes like stick. When he says, Fender has such a fun sprites, bro. Lesbian Wolf says, love the fact that the universal experience of Ace Attorney is immediately deciding Phoenix and Edgeworth are gay. And Bub with the hydrate command, thank you very much. I'm gonna hydrate with some more of my cherry 7-Up. Thank you, Bumbo. When he said, Logan gotta do the Fender hug sprite IRL. Okay, so that's what it's like. Hey, come on, let's do this. Let's hug it out. When he says, Cavell, and then Von Karma Hamina command. Bumbo says, I will say, why would you want AI-generated fanfic? Why would, I'd say it was like art. I mean, at first it was neat because it's like, this is a funny thing, computer, make the thing for me. And I guess maybe for your own private uses for whatever, but especially for posting online, no. Rukov says, because otherwise Logan would have to settle for the fanfics we all make for him. Doc says, gambling. Bubba said, I am so confident here. And Bone says, my question is, why AO3? I know there's good stuff on there, but given the nature of fanfiction, there's also a lot from very amateur writers. No shade on those writers, of course, just a factual sense. And that's a fair point. I wonder if it's just because the sheer volume of it, and maybe the person who scraped it just wants to be able to create fanfic that's believable to have been written by a person. And so in that case, some of it would have to be, by necessity, a bit amateurish, maybe? Over on YouTube, Dermo says, games played during sickness tend to stand out a lot more. Grim Fandango, I've never played that, but I've heard that's good. Said Raincoat and Persona 5 I played while bedridden. Thank goodness for the Switch, and that made them stick more. I wonder if it's just sickness or if it's any time you have to stay home, because Animal Crossing New Horizons had a big impact on me just because of the lockdowns that were going on. And Dermo says, you can wear anything as underwear if you try. But why? Why would you want to do that? The chafing alone would be awful. Okay, chat, I defy you then. And I challenge you, I should say, to defy Dermo and come up with something you could not use as underwear, no matter how hard you try. Because you have to put clothes over top of it. There's got to be something that's so big and unwieldy that you can't do that. But I do appreciate the optimism with that Dermo and the reality check about the chafing. Not only chafing, but what if it's really hot? Because metal can absorb heat, and then you're burning your skin on the insides of your undies, your big metal plated undies. He wasn't just spending quality time with his father. He was playing a much more pivotal role than that.
I just wanted him to see me hard at work, to show him I was trying my best for us. Who knows? Maybe it was him being here that helped me do so well in those early rounds.
He talks a good game, but nothing about this guy screams super dad to me.
Indeed. Thankfully, we would only have to give such an idea credence if his story were true.
Hey, since he's a dad, dad's gotta die in Ace Attorney games. I think it's a rule. Is there any father who's not, like, any, like, biological father who's not dead? Because, like, Tangaroa is an adopted father. Edgeworth's dad, dead. What was the Drew Measham guy? You know, he was a father, he's dead. So Gusto, by the end of this game, he needs to be dead in an elevator.
After all, how much could the encouragement of one small boy affect the taste of a grown man's work? Mr. Gusto prided himself on the flavor of his creations, but then he lost his sense of taste. He must have had a tough time maintaining his high standards after such a devastating loss, unless, huh?
Hello, Logan Robo. This I may... Wait. This isn't Beef Longa, this is Nora. That one there will be fan underscore BMDLB. Whoa, wait, you ain't look ify. Anyways, we learned a thing about Miles about the L6.
I need to see that. It usually takes a second for the text for these Beef Longa TTSs to show up. I need to see what that was. Okay, there was some nonsense keyboard slams. Okay, I was very concerned about that. What did you learn about Miles? About his unnecessary feelings? Did you learn about that today? But thank you very much, Nora, for the 50 bits and the Beef Longa TTS. I appreciate that. I should read some more in the chat. Bumbo says, I put it all on yes. Lesbian Wolf says to Bumbo, some people want the experience of reading something they had an idea for, but don't want to write it themselves. Also, fanfics can be used to generate original works. I just barely learned, in fact, I've been meaning to post about this on the Transformers channel. I just barely learned that, like, there are people who write fanfics of stuff that they're a fan of. Hang on.
No. Something. About. That happens in that elevator. Here, take my money.
Yes, that thing that you said. Thank you so much for the 10 bits. I appreciate that. So yes, the thing that happened in the elevator. So we can talk about that now, right? I've been joking about it for a while. Dead dad in an elevator. Thank you so much for the 10 bits. But yes, I just learned recently that like there are people who will write a fanfic of something, and then if it becomes long enough, they'll like go back and change the names of all the people and places, and then like publish it as their own like thing. And I guess that's creative. And then you can like tell people this is really about these other characters, but it's like its own IP or something like that. Let's see, Magpie says, because there's so much writing, a lot of it will be very good, and it's free/easy to access. Quigita said, I love how as soon as Logan put in the prediction, Twitch starts buffering for me. Oh no, I'm sorry, is it buffering for anyone else? Boba says, to Bone, yeah, AO3 has a barrier to entry, but it isn't that hard. Doc said, there's 50k in the pool, is there? Cookster! Oh no, Cookster, yeah, I saw you before, but I'm just always happy to see you. Cookster! I remember when I was the victim in an Ace Attorney game. Boma says to Doc, sorry, I am confident in Logan. Doc says, I am too. Boma says, I put my whole round into 50k in there. I am broke. Doc says, K Faraday investigations. Her doohickey has a lie detector now. Eggland says, hi, how you doing, Eggland? Welcome. Bone says, I'm doing good. By the way, don't know if you saw on Discord, but I beat Persona 5 Royal. Nice. Was it your first time playing through the game all the way yourself? Congratulations. Ras said, I would love to see how Logan is in a fighter game like Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Street Fighter. The answer is not good. Not good at all. I like fighting games, but I am awful at them. I have done streams for it. It wasn't Fighter Z, but I did Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, but that's not... And that's kind of a fighting game, but it's not like the 2D kind of fighting game. Does that count? When he says, yippee, how do you like it, to Bone? When he said, my glorious queen on, Eglin said, would have been here earlier, but I wanted to get food first. That is good. You should be taking care of your biological needs. Toby over on YouTube says, On my way to try using the sun as underwear. There we go. Yes, I don't think you can use the sun as underwear. You would die. I know that because I work at a planetarium. You could probably try using sunlight as underwear, but then as soon as you put pants over, the sunlight would be cut off. Because light is just, you can't have a barrier between yourself and the sun. Boom, you got it, Toby. All right, let's play a little bit more and then I'll be back to the chat. He must have had a tough time maintaining his high standards after such a devastating loss. Unless... I'm sure your son was here to cheer you on. But that wasn't all he was here to do, was it?
You're a very suspicious man, Mr. Prosecutor, but why not try answering yourself for a change? What was an elementary school kid doing here other than to support his father?
To taste your creations, to steal other people's creations, to make your creations for you. We'll save, because it's to taste them, right? I mean, obviously it's to taste them, because the other stuff he could have done, if it was to steal stuff, he could have stolen stuff on his own. But I'll just save in case I'm being a dingus. To taste your creations. The music stopped, so we gotta be right, yeah? Your son knew the taste of your work pretty well, I imagine, Mr. Gusto.
He was my biggest fan. Of course he knew it.
In which case, he would have been a good judge of whether something tasted on brand, so to speak. No?
What are you implying?
You've already told us that you were suffering from a taste disorder.
I'll admit it. You're good. I never told anybody of this, but you figured it all out anyway. It's true. 18 years ago, I developed agousia.
I don't know why. We just barely saw it. Why are we flashing back to this? In fact, that's all we've been talking about is his taste disorder. No one knew about your condition. Indeed, I doubt Mr. Frost would have wanted to continue collaborating with you had he found out. After all, it was your job to make sure his creations tasted good. Therefore, your son wasn't just here to support you. He was helping you by taste testing your work. And, this music is not quite as exciting as I was hoping. I said, like, some thrilling, like, oh, look at Edgeworth go. He's got this. No, all right. Okay.
Oh, dang, now it all makes sense.
Frost's stuff tasted good because it really was finished the day before when the kid was still here.
You have a vivid imagination, Mr. Prosecutor.
He's gonna ask for proof of it, because I don't know if we have proof of it, except that everything fits.
But you seriously think I trust a kid to tell me how to adjust the taste of my masterpieces? I have some pride, you know, even back then.
Did you now?
My designs may not have been much to write home about back then, but I always knew my work tasted better than anybody else's. You think I'd risk everything by putting my reputation in the hands of a child? This is just more speculation. That's all it is.
Ah! In that case, I'll ask to speak with your son this instant. Okay, good idea. This instant. Let's see how much of your story he can corroborate. Okay, this is like the first time they've done something smart. Usually they're like, well, how do we figure out this random, pocket watch I found on the carpet proves this? But yeah, just call him in. With the papa?
How did Italian man turn into Mr. Krabs?
I don't know. I was actually trying to do a Popeye laugh, but you're right. It kind of was Mr. Krabs. How you doing, Vero? Vero! We've missed you. I missed everybody, but we went almost an hour in the chat without you, Vero. Thank you for the 10 bits. Let me read some more in the chat. But how are you doing, Vero? Bones says to Wendy, I loved it. Honestly, the royal exclusive part of the story was my favorite. It it had one of the best twists in that royal part. It was so good. I still love Persona 4 Golden, but I do feel like the extra dungeon in that, it was just, I don't know, it felt very tacked on and unnecessary to me, but that's just me. Queen Katie said we might also be looking at the final name fact for Case 3 tonight. Okay, so I'm guessing that'll be either we're finally gonna see Ian Seidman No, because we already got a name factor. It's going to be Carmelo Gusto's kid. Either him or Artie Frost's kid. One of the two of them, right? Quick said I already got my notepad all prepped up. With the pa-pa-pa.
Logan. Voice cracks.
Ah, Logan!
My buddy, D, I have good news to share and I was waiting for stream for it, but Granny is out of the hospital.
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic! Congratulations, Vero! I think that's so awesome that you've been spending so much time with her and taking care of her. You are a good, dutiful grandchild, and I mean, I hope it's not patronizing to say that we're all proud of you, but we are. You're awesome, Vero, and I'm glad that she's doing well, and it sounds like the recovery is going well. That is good news. And Vero, I know that you said on Discord that you got sick over the weekend as well. I hope you're feeling better and that you're able to spend some good quality time out of the hospital with your grandma. So everybody, make sure if you haven't already, you might already be in the chat doing this, but congratulate Vero. That is such good news. Congratulations. Let me read a couple comments in the chat because I know I've got to be so far behind already. Hang on.
I finished the original Twin Peaks series and made the mistake of watching the movie at 3 a.m. It is one of the most devastating thing ever. Do not watch Twin Peaks and especially not the movie. You will never recover. Boo.
Ah! Wow, there's more. Oh, 11 bits.
Could I wait for you to just get to the message? Yeah, but I'm a lazy girl. Guess WHO's staying all stream?
You?
This gal who doesn't have school tomorrow.
Hey!
Guess WHO aced their global test?
Oh, that was you. I saw you mention on Discord.
I had to memorize the
countries, capitals, and physical features of Southeast Asia. I got 100, baby, and a big long keyboard slam. Congratulations. I think when I took a geography class, we didn't. Do schools just like pick one random continent? I remember we did Africa, so there's a lot of was Southwest or Southeast Asia. There's probably some countries there I would misplace. But congratulations! Okay, thank you Oak for the 10 bits. Thank you Nora for the 11 bits. I got an extra bit thrown in there. Hope that doesn't mess up your pocketbook. Thank you Vero for the 10 bits earlier as well. Also Oak, I've still never seen Twin Peaks with the papa.
Need to even it out and also don't George go now Frog Mouse Brown Mouse Mixif Bounce Mixif Behacon so Manside Phone Boo.
Onaboo, Thank you, Nora, for the 18 bits and for the attempt to even it out. But although you aced your geography test, math, I think, might still be a struggle because that 11 plus 18 is 29, Nora. You're still uneven, but you're closer. You're closer to that. But thank you very much for the 18 bits. And okay, I have still never seen Twin Peaks. I want to see it one of these days. It's one of those things that every now and then someone will mention. I'm like, oh, I want to see that. But whenever I'm by myself thinking what to watch, I never think about it. I have never seen it, but I have seen, and I'm trying to think of anyone else in chat. I think Wendy, maybe Magpie might know of this, but the closest thing I've ever seen to Twin Peaks is I love classic cartoons.
We yearn to give Logan our dimes.
I know that works out well because I love dimes. So thank you for the 10 bits, Vero. Wow, this is like a lot. If we're not careful, if somebody does a sub, then we'd probably get like a hype train or something like that. But thank you so much for the 10 bits, Vero. Thank you for the dime. But yes, Oak, Darkwing Duck, an old cartoon from like the 90s, had a parody of Twin Peaks, an episode called Twin Beaks, which I went on which at the time when I watched it, I had no idea what it was parodying. But why would they do that? Why would they have it was a cartoon show for kids, and it had a parody of Twin Peaks in it. But I guess back then writers just probably did stuff for themselves. But yes, thank you very much for those bits. I appreciate it. Over on YouTube, Dermo says, is the sun's surface not just metaphorical underwear for the dense plasma core underneath, with light being the clothes preventing the surface from being seen, i.e. covering it? That's good, but is it really the underwear or is it the outerwear though? I guess it depends on how you look at it, but you make a compelling argument, Dermo. Says, I can make this work, hopefully. So yeah, so underwear, I guess not for humans, but for the nuclear fusion that goes on in the sun. Says, all my knowledge of Twin Peaks comes from other media, which apparently has the same vibe. So I guess I have that down. I don't know if I've seen any, it was David Lynch who did Twin Peaks, right? I don't think I've seen any of his stuff, to be totally honest. I'm gonna read a couple more comments. We will get back to the game, but I'm getting so far behind. Oh, that's right, because without a mod, we haven't been able to go on slow mode. Where'd I leave off? Noobly, welcome back! Said, when Metaphor Fantasio? That'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Metaphor. We were supposed to have played it on Tuesday, but I had to cancel it because of sickness, Noobly. But it will be back tomorrow. Quigita said, tomorrow, hopefully. Wrath says, hopefully. Noobly said, also, my dog's getting surgery tomorrow, so I have to wake up at 6 a.m. I'm sorry. I always hate that. Like, it's so stressful because, like, whenever I have to take my cat into the vet for, like, that type of thing, it's always like, you got to drop her off at 7 a.m., and I'm like, crap, what if I have a hard time getting her into the carrier case at, like, 6:30 or whatever? So I hope your dog surgery goes well, Noob. I hope it's not anything serious. Or regardless of whether it's serious or not, I hope it turns out well and your dog recovers okay. Bumbo says, I just went to look for a guide for the fan translation. I can actually somewhat follow along there. Nice. And there was Nora's raid saying Nora's raid again. We hope her tears don't mess up your stream. Nora raid. Nora said, ... my stream was ... Quigita says, Nora! Nora says, Oak said, we haven't finished it yet. Noobly says, I'm gonna go bye. Okay, you're probably already gone, but bye, Noobly. Hopefully see you next time. Nora said, we haven't finished. No. Oak said, we've gotten to a big part. The big reveal about Edgeworth in DL6. Quigita said, but mine happened. How odd. Nora said, big day for Theorized. Quigita said, why no Nora clip? Nora said, oh, noi. And read one more comment, then we'll get back in the game. Bone says, I started 5 strikers, not far in. I played other Warriors games and love them, you know. I also can't wait to play Tacticia afterwards because just like Persona 5 XCOM, and I love XCOM. XCOM 2 used to be my second most played game on Steam. Then Heck Divers 2 came out and I went whole no life. Okay, a couple things there. First of all, I haven't played any Warriors games, but I do have Hyrule Warriors and I've been wanting to play that for a while. Is that good? And XCOM, is that the one that has, I always get confused. I remember seeing like a snake lady character that had a cool design. I don't know if that's XCOM. But speaking of games taking away your life, I'm worried because have you guys seen what just came out the other day? Stealth dropped the remake of Oblivion came out. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. I think I'm gonna wait until it goes on sale and also give time for the modding community to like fix all the game-breaking bugs and hopefully leave in all the whimsical and goofy bugs. But knowing what Skyrim did to me when that game came out, I worry that I may lose all of my personal time if I start playing that. Nora says, oh no, and Bubba said, no, we can't be having technical difficulties now, not when my 50k is on the line. Not buffering, don't worry. Oh, what were the technical difficulties? Let's play some more though, hang on. In that case, I ask to speak with your son this instant. Let's see how much of your story he can corroborate. That is kind of a Mr. Krabs laugh, isn't it?
Sadly for you, my son is no longer my concern.
Okay, so it is a custody battle then?
What do you... No, you're concerned. Can you please use normal words? As soon as I got my sense of taste back, I went straight to Zhangfa to start my training. I forgot to leave kibble out for him. He died of starvation. And cut off all ties with the kid for good.
Oh, so maybe he felt betrayed because the kid refused to help him?
Why? Is he an orphan? Can Mr. Edgeworth adopt him too? Mr. Edgeworth, am I gonna have a brother? Am I gonna have a big brother? An Oni-chan? You abandoned your own child? And that ain't the half of it. No one knows where he is even now.
Oh, yeah, had we heard about this before?
The cops have looked all over for him, but no dice. No other types of game pieces or cards or anything else. So, still think you can prove your theory? I'd like to see you try. You think I care about anything besides confectionery? Think again. I got my sense of taste back. What need do I have for a son?
Silence in the courtroom. While Mr. Gusto's words and actions may demonstrate a certain lack of humanity on his part, the goddess of justice cannot judge him for that.
Lean laughing.
Therefore, Mr. Edgeworth, I believe it is time for you to admit defeat.
Yeah, give it up. 18 years is a long time for anything to surface now, proof or otherwise.
Oh. Mr. Edgeworth, we have to do something. Okay, I'm gonna save in case it asks me because I don't know what it's gonna have me present as somehow proof to keep going here. I mean, it's obviously him. I mean, even if Gavel thinks there's no proof, she's got to be able to tell, yeah, it's this guy. Well, it sucks that we can't nail him. If we don't, the truth might be lost forever. Oh! Where are you, Detective Gumshoe? I'll whisper his name into the wind. Dick Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe, where are you? I'm in the flashback here. I can't imagine whose blood, dun dun dun, it could possibly be, but I'll get it tested right away, Char. He got a test done in like 3.5 seconds in one of the previous chapters. Now it's taking a realistic amount of time. Please do, Detective. That's the lost piece of the puzzle. I'm sure of it. Once we know whose blood it is, and again, it's gonna be Gusto's blood because he said before he's accident prone. He's always accidentally cutting himself.
This makes me wish you had a way to add echo to your voice.
Oh, are there ways to do that in OBS? I think I've seen other streamers do that, but I don't know if it's an OBS or if they're using programs with their microphones. This microphone I think has a program with it. I should look into that. I should do that. I agree. Thank you very much, Vera, for the 10 bits and for the thought there. Let's read a couple more comments in the chat.
Where is my queen baddie bound? Heart, less than 3, less than 3, less than 3 baddie bound. Where are you? FHR for yay, boo. Boo.
Ah! Thank you for typing out the phrase less than 3 instead of even just the hearts, Nora. Thank you for the 10 bits. I appreciate that. And I can't remember if she's in the room with us or not because she basically admitted to having committed some crimes, but we're trying to get her exonerated for, at the very least, for the murder or being involved in the murder of Artie Frost. So she's around somewhere. She's around being bound, but thank you very much for the 10 bits. Appreciate it. Oak said, I also had a theory, and I think it was deconfirmed. I was so confident too. In Ace Attorney 1, what was your theory, if you don't mind me asking? Nora said, okay, I'm here to say that Batmanon, if you're listening, I'm blue on Discord, do-ba-doo-doo, blue-ba-doo-da-boo-da. I know, I posted Hey Hey in the Hey Hey channel, and you can't even see it, Nora. Oak said, oh, I missed that. Rast says, lol. Quickett says, ad quote, chuckles. I have logic in my brain. Nora said, Logan, guess who can stay for all stream tonight? This gal, no school tomorrow. What's the special occasion? Either way, congratulations. Beowulf said, hello, lonely man. Rip sub. See, this is a downside to Batmanon's generosity, is that everyone's subs expire at the same time. But how you doing, Beowulf? And Vera writes the quote. And Vera said, hello, chat. Wait, I need to wash my face, actually. Nora says, Vero. Vera said, Nora, hi. I just woke up. Nora says, Vero. Vera says, Nora. Oak said, Vero the goat. Vera says, why are we yelling? Bumble says, no idea. Nora said, Vero, I missed you. Vera says, I missed you too. Oh, wait, papa?
Do you guys remember how last season we ended on a cliffhanger where I got impregnated by my wife Borkshord? Well, I'm 8-9 months along. I will be having my baby very soon. I'm planning on holding a gender reveal party live on stream. We will be blowing up the Dynamic Surprise for real love for one of my suggestions. This is what new cities are the SWAT days. The silver Brussels. Good now, when everyone like you will be great. Back just right there.
For the gender reveal party, Beef will be blowing up the what? Let me see the text for that. We'll be blowing up, the moon to reveal what color the inside, these are real words, huh?
Please don't give birth on stream.
I mean, Beef Longa could. I think that could work out. But Vera, thank you for the 10 bits, I appreciate it. But hang on, to blow up the moon to reveal what color the inside is, really hoping our baby won't be gray gender. Could also be cheese gender. Isn't that the inside of the moon? Isn't that what we say in like Western culture? The moon's made of cheese? Hang on, I gotta breathe for a second. Because the cold I had was like a chest cold, I feel like my lung capacity is even less than it normally was. There we go, Lesbian Wolf said, some people have self-admittedly uploaded fanfics that were AI generated. Why would you do that, let alone admit it? Well, I guess admitting it is better than being deceptive about it, but still. Beowulf says, SMT4 was my COVID game, and I will never forget that game. Oak says, I told Nora recently that I went to a ramen place that opened recently, and she used that to try and figure out where I live. Vera said, okay, I'll be right back. Lurk, thank you for the lurk, Vero. Oak said, but she also mentioned a different ramen place that opened recently nearby that I didn't know about. And over on YouTube, Dermo says, Father of the Year, folks. Oh, man. Well, in the Ace Attorney universe, maybe. Valtube said, poor Gusto's son. He surely was a saint. Is that a hint? Is it going to turn out that Simeon Saint is Gusto's son? Hang on, because let's see the two kids in the picture. Because I'm still guessing that they're crossed over in different directions. Could this be Simeon Saint? I mean, he's got a goofy face. How old was Simeon Saint? Anybody remember what his age was? We can see if it lines up. We don't really see a hair color. This kid has a similar, but I think it's gonna be two different directions. This kid, I think, is gonna end up being the kid that we saw in the room with the Delights before. And that's gonna be him grown up, even though he still looked like a little guy, but maybe he's just short. And so, yeah, maybe is his son? Did Simeon Saint, did he say anything that implied that he was the son of a confectioner or that he was like an orphan? Is that a hint? I feel like that's a hint. Derma says, Eggman style gender reveal. Oh, that would be great. Opinion says, oh, there's people who will directly tell fanfic authors in the comments that they put their fic into AI to write another chapter or something. I hate that. I also see that with like fan art. People do this on like Twitter. It's like, oh, that's pretty good art, but I just fed it into an AI thing and I improved it. Look how much better it is because of me, because of the thing that I did by having a computer do it. And almost always it looks worse, which, I mean, it'll look like very precise, but it like will look lifeless and just have weird choices being made. It's awful. Valtube says, there was no hint, you're overthinking. Okay, so apparently it's not Simeon Saint. I wonder if the use of the chicken on a stick and the rose in his lapel have any significant meaning here. I don't know. We shall see. But again, I bet that they are like reversed to trick ya. But let's play some more and we'll find out. Once we know whose blood, dun dun dun. Detective Gumshoe, that was in my head. So was my dun dun dun. How did you even hear that I did that? I'm at the police station right now. It is. Hey, Miles, sorry to cut into your mind palace time, but I was pondering something myself. Our friend Gusto didn't come here just to check up on the body, did he? You mean because he tried to open the case? Exactamundo! Think we have anything that might explain why he tried to do that? We might, if Detective Gumshoe can make it back in time with a certain piece of evidence. What the papa?
Hey guys, it's gender reveal time, everyone. Look out your window at the moon. The missile is landing in 3, 2, 1, boom, guys. What the derp? It's yellow, is it? A P baby is my baby, P gender is my baby. Being born with jaundice. This is bad, this is real bad. Oh, Owie, my water just broke.
Are you sure that was your water breaking and not even more pee? That's why, that is a very Eggman, Dr. Robotnik thing. Peed on the moon. But you know what? If the kid ever wonders, am I really part of the family? You can say, hey, you're in. Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, I rate that gender reveal. If I was to tell it like what the rating was and say, hey, gender reveal, scale 1 to 10, you're an 8. Pee jokes, yeah. All right. Because I know you don't like poo jokes, but apparently you like pee jokes. That's quite enough idle chatter, defense. Now, if you... Oh, dash, dash. What am I being interrupted by, Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Sorry to keep you waiting. Oh. Speak of the devil. I'm not the devil. I'm a nice guy, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, Bound and Eustace are both here. Oh, there he is. There's his feet up there. And Larry is still sketching away like a doof. Yes, sir! The lab just got back to me. I do like that in this game, it feels like Gumshoe is doing a really good job and he's very useful. I like seeing the side of Gumshoe. Detective, please. Court is in session. Oh, a pin message written by Doc, pinned by Vera, said the puns are just flowing. out. You know what? I thought I was pretty good at these urine puns, but Doc, I think you are number one. I should read some chat before I delve into too much more of this pee talk. But thank you for the pin message. Let's see. Eglin said, Animal Crossing gave me the feeling of going outside without actually being able to go outside. Me too, like during the lockdown, it made me feel like, oh, this is what it's like to be able to hang out with friends. Bubble says, a top hat. But when written as one word, it looks like it says a toff hat. Rast says, well, okay, so hey chat, does anyone play Dragon Ball Fighter Z? I do. Wait, I can't remember if I actually got the game or if I just wishlisted. But I like Dragon Ball, so who do you main as, Rast? Oak said, and so I went to try the place too, and oh my gosh, it was so good. Maybe the best ramen I've ever had, but it was expensive as F. How far behind is Longa? Bumble says, I don't know. Quicken said, technically, Logan, he did almost die from the poison trap. Did we forget the spoiler clip I gave out before? Please, Pin. I mean, yeah, he did almost die. And so there was like an attempted murder, but still. Bubba says, I guess me and Maya's father, though we don't know him. Well, I mean, yeah. Like, is he confirmed alive? Because, like, Apollo Justice's bio dad is dead. Our Army Buff's bio dad is dead. Like, they just love killing biological fathers. Doc said, not sure if we can count hypothetical fathers. Oak said, did Nora get money or points? Nora said, money. Oak said, also, what the F, beef? Oak says, oh dang. Bill said, I just got the Metaphor Steam Deck opening for the first time. It's only given me the P5 one for so long. Oh, is it like on a randomizer or something like that? Over on YouTube, let's see. Dermo says, yeah, I've always found AI works to be really typical, which is just boring. It follows the most tread path. Opinion says, hi, Eustace with a heart. Dermo says, Investigations has the best gumshoe. It's not even close. Valtube says, when helping Phoenix, Gumshoe uses his 100%, but with helping Edgeworth, Gumshoe uses 1,000%. That's why he is more useful in Investigations games. I did like seeing him gradually become friends with Phoenix Wright over the course of many cases. That early on, he was kind of antagonistic to him, but by the end, they were really genuinely good buddies.
I hate jokes about bodily fluid, but hey, sometimes you earn it to win it. Boo.
Bah!
Okay,
You're in it to win it. Thank you for the 10 bits and the additional P-pun. P-pun. Thank you for that and for the 10 bits, Nora. Sir Bacon! How you doing, Sir Bacon, over on YouTube? Says, I'm gonna try and drink 2 things of soda in 2 hours. This can't possibly backfire. Opinion said, define what a thing of soda is. And Derma says, by thing, do you mean cans or cases? Yeah, because like can, 2 of those, not a big deal. 2 2-liter bottles or 2 cases, both of those are a lot. Sir Bacon says, so my birthday's coming up in 3 days. Happy almost birthday. Do you have any fun plans? You gonna get anything good? Opinion says, like you drinking a can or a 2-liter. Sir Bacon says, cases. Opinion says, oh dear. Valtube said, Bacon, you're back. Sir Bacon says, yes. And Oak says over on Twitch, without spoiling, we learned who killed Edgeworth's dad. Ooh. Queegator said, cool. I don't know how that works to Beowulf. Nora said, lurk, be our back. See it when you get back. And Beowulf said, basically, the Steam Deck, every time you boot up, there's a little opening animation it plays. I have it set to random, and it loves the P5R one I have for some reason. Ooh. So is the Metaphor one real good? Oh, wait, Deba?
Oh, man. I just hit 9 months. I'm preggers. I'm going into labor. Oh, shucks. Oh, man. Can anyone here help deliver my baby? Just breathe. Okay, ooh, breathe. Aha, ha, okay,
I'll catch the baby. Catch the baby.
Oh, it's okay. The baby's out
Hey.
now.
Oh.
This baby isn't pea-colored at all. No, this baby's neon green.
Yeah.
Is that bad? Guys.
You know, I think it just looked pea yellow because...
Turin.
Are you done, Beef?
Name for the baby.
I don't know if Beef is done. Are we naming the baby? I was gonna say maybe it looked yellow because the moon was out at nighttime and the blue sky would have made it look green during the day. And without the blue sky, it looks yellow. I don't know. But Beef got a green baby. But thank you very much for the 50 bits. I appreciate it. Said, is that bad guys anyway? The name for the baby is ... So we'll have to find out. Will it be another type of meat? We already have beef and we have pork. What's this one gonna be? Chicken? Oh, you know what it should be? You know what the beef's baby should be named? Veal. Because it's a baby. Veal. Okay, let's play some game. Detective, please. Court is in session. Now then, am I right to assume that you are bringing us the evidence Mr. Edgeworth was just speaking of? What? Hey, no fair. Why didn't anybody tell me about any of this? Yeah. It is indeed the evidence in question, Your Honor. It needed testing, so I asked him to carry it out. What the? Why is everybody always helping you? Because Edgeworth, despite being very abrasive and kind of aloof, he has friends, Eustace. I'm supposed to be the one in charge here. Mr. Winner. I'm sorry I didn't involve you, but this is important. Can we at least hear what the detective has to say? Well, all right. So, Detective Gumshoe, I'm surprised Edgeworth, apologized to him. What did the tests have to tell us? You're not gonna believe this, but it's gonna be Carmelo Gusto's blood, right? The owner of the blood, dun dun dun! We found in the liquid at the bottom of the Gemini case is, dun dun dun. I'm building up suspense, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, wait. Hang on, I think I forgot it. Let me pull out the piece of paper. Okay, I got it. It is, are you ready? You suspenseful? Carmelo Gusto, the victim of the poison gas attack. It's so strange to be his blood. You know, he was a victim of a different case. And that's all we need. That's all the evidence, because that shows that's why he was trying to get rid of the body, dispose of evidence that he committed the murder. What are you talking about? Thank you, Detective. You've been very helpful. Well, it looks like my suspicions were correct. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, what do you mean? Explain yourself. Come on, you're supposed to be smart, Cavell. Surely you can put this together. What is the significance of this blood to the case? It's only the very thing the perpetrator of the IS-70 incident has been trying to hide all these years. The fact that your blood was found inside the Gemini case, Mr. Gusto, is as good as finding your blood. Sorry, I missed you saying blood earlier in the sentence. I was grateful that I was able to help. Lying right next to Mr. Frost's body. Why would there be traces of your blood there, of all places, Mr. Gusto? Hang on. I want to check something here. The salt lamp. Okay, that is stained with Frost's blood. I was going to say, did we ever have that blood tested? Oh, there's a pin message. Oh, written by Crystal. Pinned by Bear Crystal. I didn't hear you coming. How you doing? Said me and our class picked debate as our final project in a subject. Time for the cross-examination and rebuttals. Nice! That sounds fun. I wish that when I was in high school, I got into debate. In retrospect, that seems like such a fun thing. I hope it's going well, Crystal. Let me read some more in the chat now that we've got music going back on. Quiggy says to Beowulf, ooh, that's cool. Magpie says, oh yeah, allegedly 50 Shades of Grey was a fanfic of Twilight. Really? I did not know that. Wasn't the guy in 50 Shades of Grey supposed to be like a millionaire, though? Is Edward Cullen, is he rich? I can't remember. I got dragged along by somebody to see the first Twilight movie. Not a fan. So I never saw any of the others and don't remember a whole heck of a lot from it. Quiggy said, I want a Steam Deck someday. Lesbian Wolf said, yeah, there's a few romance books like that. Oak says, dang it, I can't vote in prediction. Oak said, but also, holy crap, yeah, 53K in the pool. Quiggy said, well, yeah, it's over. We're waiting now. Vera said prediction closed because they did it early with the unlurk from Vero. Oak said to Queen Katie, yeah, sadly. Quiggy said, same. I'm bad at fighter games. The only one I can excel at is the official Toho fighter. Lesbian Wolf said, writing is a lot harder than most people think. I've spent multiple hours trying to write a DC fanfic. I only have 1,600 words. When you say DC, do you mean DC Comics? Do you mind if I ask what character or characters? Here's the thing about writing. I agree, it's harder than most people think, and I think part of that's because too many people think that anyone can write. I mean, I think there are a lot of writers who also wish they could be artists and realize, I can't draw. But I think there's probably people who are into other arts, like drawing or singing or stuff like that that just assume, well, I can write. I know how to write, so therefore I can write. And I think they don't realize how much goes into it. Oak says, also, Wendy is getting farther into One Peak. One Peak should be One Piece crossed over with Twin Peaks, Oak. Oak said, like past episode 50, so base, so close to Peakabasta. Do you call Alabasta Peak? I felt like that went on for a long time, and it kind of dragged, but maybe that was just me. Vera said, aw man, we're talking about the AO3 thing. This is a reminder for anyone who writes on AO3 to set their works in the blue lock that stops people who don't have accounts from reading your work. Beowulf said, if you want to go deeper, it's multiple layers over from 9/11 fanfic, because My Chemical Romance started music because of 9/11, which the author of Twilight was inspired by, which then 50 Shades of Grey was inspired by. Wow. I didn't know that. Didn't know that about My Chemical Romance. Hang on. I gotta finish the last of my cherry 7-Up.
Phil Short, Tonga Porky, and I both wanted our last name for our baby, so instead of doing the normal thing and combining them or making one the middle name, we made a weird fusion out of it. I love her and her massive boobs. Dearly Phil is already 4 years old. They grow up so fast.
Ah! Thank you for the 50 bits. There's a lot to process there. Now I gotta have like an actual water, now that I'm done with that soda. Because that probably wasn't really hydrating me, but it makes me feel better when I have a cold. I can already feel my voice starting to go a little bit during tonight's stream, and we're only like halfway through. So if it gets worse tonight, I apologize. But thank you very much for the 50 bits. So did you say what the fused name is? Oh, it is Veal. It's already 4 years old. They grow up so fast. But thank you very much for the 50 bits and the Beef Longa TTS. Over on, I gotta read some YouTube. YouTube is starting. I'm starting to get behind. Let's see. Sir Bacon says, I'm going to the bowling alley for my birthday. Nice. I haven't been to a bowling alley in ages. I think the last time I went, it was when, one of the last times I think I went to a bowling alley, it was back when I had a girlfriend, and it was a girlfriend I was convinced I was gonna marry. I was like head over heels in love with this girl. And she broke up with me in the parking lot of the bowling alley. So, in retrospect, maybe that's why I haven't gone to bowling in a long time. But bowling is fun. Opinion says, heck yeah, I've been bowling since like pre-COVID. I want to go again so bad. Opinion says, have fun. Sir Bacon says, I'll try not to hit anyone with the bowling ball. It says, Bacon, name him Bacon. I'm going to go get the soda back. He popped the sweet ball. Said 50 shades of gray and 25 different colors. I call gray dark white, which is objectively true. Valtube says, I'm rewatching Alabasta right now, and I can confirm its peak. Maybe I just like took too long to watch it and had too many breaks in between. It had some really fun characters. I mentioned before, I really liked, there was the goofy guy who looked like a swan, and I think somebody, I always forget his name. And you guys told me his name last time I mentioned him, and you guys said that he becomes important later on. But that's also where, like, Nico Robin came from, where I'm at, I'm in the Skypiea arc, and I still don't quite get her deal yet. But I think, well, what was the princess in Alabasta? I don't know, I just found her a little bland. Is that heresy? Huh?
You girls gross. They have cooties. Good thing she dumped you, la 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 la. You don't want to get cooties. If you ever get a girlfriend, we will all be mad at you because why do you want cooties?
I want cooties. I want those cooties so bad. Huh?
You aren't alone in thinking Alabasta was too long. In the anime it definitely was, but that was mostly filler Toye added of the Straw Hats walking in the desert for like 10 episodes. Goo.
Ah!
Also, everyone congratulate Beef and Pork on their child.
Congratulations, Beef and Pork. On little Veal. Huh?
Puzzles here. I gotta say Vale Short Hunger Porky is one of my greatest students. They're the representative of their class in graduation. Happy 2025 class for Vale. I hope college treats well.
Wait, is Veal already graduated from high school? This is amazing! I hope the kid doesn't die soon at this rate. But thank you very much for the 10 bits there. Thank you earlier for the 10 bits as well, Oak. Oh, and there's more on that. Also, everyone congratulate Beef and Pork on their child. Also, Bone Clay and Robin get so peak in the arc after Skypiea. So yeah, maybe I do just need to go back and like rewatch Alabasta as part of one pace or something, see if it's better paced, you know, in that case. Okay, let me finish up catching up on YouTube, then we'll get back into the game, and then I'll read some more of the Twitch, and we'll just keep going, bouncing back and around like that. Sir Bacon says, love is just cringe and will break emotions. I still want it. I still want those cooties that Nora's warning me about. And thank you for those 10 bits, by the way, Nora. Sir Bacon says, I just got the pun with Gavel's name. Yeah, because it's a gavel. Yeah. Dermot says, bowling always devolves into fighting over which color ball is best in my choice. And then Sir Bacon says, hey, if you get married, I will be happy. I want to get married. Ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to be a dad. And yet finding someone to collaborate with me on that has been a bit difficult. But let's play some game. Why would there be traces of your blood there, of all places, Mr. Gusto?
Oh,
If you won't answer her honor, Mr. Gusto, then I will. There wasn't just blood in the liquid from the Gemini case. There were traces of salt and sugar, too. Oh, I forgot to do dun-dun-dun on that blood. I guess that joke has run its course. There were. And if you remember, one particular part of Mr. Frost's work... Wow! Thank you, Atlantic! I'm assuming you're announcing your arrival. Hi, Atlantic, how you doing? Welcome. I hope you're doing well. And if you remember, one particular part of Mr. Frost's work was allegedly very salty indeed. The strings, right? Oh, yeah. You're talking about what Delicia told us back then, right? What was it again? Huh?
I realize the way I worded the TTS as if Von Clay is important next arc. They don't, sadly. That happens at like episode 400.
Oh.
But Robin has her arc in the saga after Skypiea, and it might be the best saga in the entire series. It's so unfathomably good. You really should get back into it. One Pace has a website now, and it's easier than ever to watch. And you told me about it and sent me the link or posted it. I named you to that. Hang on, one thing I gotta do. I think the soda dried at my lips. I'm pulling out some chapstick real quick. There we go. Freaking love this. Have we tried this before? Burt's Bees chapstick. It's got like this peppermint oil in it. It makes my lips tingle and I love it. But thank you for the 10 bits, Oak. I appreciate that. I will read some more, but I need to actually play some games, especially since we're halfway through the stream and I still haven't finished this. But it sounds like we're in the final stretch. Either we're probably gonna have like one more cross-examination or something where we present evidence, because he's gonna continue to deny it. We gotta nail him on like one last thing. Oh, you know what it's probably gonna be? Because he went to Zhang Fa, he's probably gonna admit that he did it, but then went, oh, statute of limitations, because we were given in the thing, statute of limitations book. But one of the things it says that if you leave the country, you get a pause on the statute of limitations, so we'll probably have to present that on some. So yeah, that's probably not gonna be a full cross-examination. Probably just gonna be him saying that. We'll present that piece of evidence, and we got this. Then we'll be able to coast right to the end. Oh, did they ever? I've never tried icy so scrumptious in all my life.
oh, really, man? I wish I could have had a bite.
Well, scrumptious except for the salty bit, of course. That was unbearable.
The salty bit?
It's in the other photo you got there. This bit, the heartbeat thing.
Gemini's liar.
Yes, the liar, and only the liar, tasted as if it had been flavored with salt. There were no traces of salt anywhere else in Mr. Frost's entry. Very interesting. Then perhaps you can tell us, Mr. Edgeworth. Where did the salt on the liar come from? What? Where did the salt go? I assumed because he made a mistake. Oh, is it maybe one of the poison things? Produce bright red ubiquin, pure white asphyxian were mixed together. Okay, so we just have to find something that mentions salt. Let's look at the case file. Was there anything in here that mentioned salt? Tanger's Rose Room, 18 years ago. Oh, rock salt lamp! It's from the rock salt lamp, because that's salt. Let's try it. I did save just a few lines ago. We can scum our save.
Take that!
Hey! This is the lamp from the IS-7 incident? Indeed! And I believe that the salt that gave the liar its flavor came from just such a lamp. Mr. Von Karma had established that both salt lamps were in Mr. Tangero's room at the time of the crime. One of them was used to kill Mr. Frost. and it was stained with his blood. So maybe the other injured Gusto, and he had to like wet it with water to wipe away everything, and that washed some of the salt down onto the harp or something. But no corresponding. Does that mean I need to read some chat? I need to read some chat, apparently. I'm not allowed to play the game, which is fine because I love hanging out with you guys. Bumbo says, you could use the sun as underwear if your pants are transparent. Oh, good call. Transparent pants. Transparent. Does that work? Transparent pants. That's what you call them, transparent pants. Vera said, because I heard the fix that were locked to account havers were safe. That's what that's what it sounds like. So they scraped it only for the ones that were publicly viewable without accounts. Bone says, it was my first time playing it myself. I watched a playthrough of it a couple of years ago, so I unfortunately couldn't experience it blind, but one, still a great time, and two, hopefully playing Strikers and Tacticia will fill that void. Well, don't give any spoilers for either of those games, because I do want to play Strikers. Maybe sometime this year? Maybe? Quiggita said, and I'm glad that you had such a good experience with it, Bone. Quiggita said, thank you for reminding me, actually. All I had was cringy old fan cure fix, but I should do it just in case. Vera said, salute. Quiggita said, I don't know how to lock it. I figured it out, I think. Vera said, edit work. Scroll down till you find visibility in the set for registered users only. Quiggita says, yee, thank you. Vera salutes. Lesbian Wolf said to Vero, thank you. I wasn't so sure how to lock fix. Vera said, happy to help. Nora said, I had to go give people money. I'm back. And then Queen Gated with some emotes. Vera said, I live to see another day. Oak says, woo. Vera said, I'm proud of you guys. We're proud of you, Vero. Doc said, that's awesome. Queen Gated said, it's time for Mother's Day soon, too. Lesbian Wolf said, congrats. I'm so happy for you. Magpie says, congrats, Vero. Bone says, nice. Vera said, thank you, everyone. Queen Gated said, lots of money today, huh? Vera said, oh my gosh, good news all around. Oak said, also, I got my partner an IKEA alien plushie. Aw. Doc said, people have been dying to give Logan money. I mean, I appreciate it. I don't turn down. I need another little square of toilet paper to dab my nose. There we go. Still got a runny nose. Yeah, Doc said, people have been dying to give Logan money. Oak says, I named her Phyllis. And then Oak says to Doc, yes. Oh, the alien named Phyllis. Bubba says, wow, good job. Nora said, did I break it? Eglin says, I have one more week before finals, finishing with an A in all my classes for the whole year. Congratulations, Eglin. That's fantastic. It's like a 4-0. Oak said, I got a tiny bit of money, so I got myself some bits for Longa. And thank you, Oak. That's very kind and generous of you to spend it on that. Nora said, I just crashed it for me. I just crashed for me. Oak said, stream is buffering for me. Darn it. I still haven't figured out. Maybe I do need to just reduce my broadcast resolution. Let's see. Queen said, dang, all the money lagged the stream, lol. Nora said, no, because I used 1 bit on someone else earlier. Oh, that's what it was. So it does work out mathematically. Bomba says, I finally got and played Dredge. It was very good. Game was being real dramatic about not being able to save at the end, though, even though the stuff after the no save warning is a single minute, which you have to try to die. That's fun, though. Oak says, no, Logan, don't watch Twin Peaks. It's really good, but if you watch it, you have to watch the movie, and the movie will destroy you. Well, you know, something's bound to destroy me eventually. Nora said, remember the last time I ate a week-old cake? I'm doing it again. No! Oak said, one of the only pieces of media that actually genuinely caused me to break down crying. Bo said, we have hit the 1 hour mark. I'm feeling nervous about my 50K now. We're over an hour and a half now. Let me check out YouTube chat real quick. Let's see, hang on. Let's see. Valtube said, if Logan gets married, I want to be at the wedding. Oh, I wonder if I'd be able to live stream it. Sir Bacon says, I gotta go. Thank you for being here, Sir Bacon. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you for hanging out. Opinion says, does anyone else find Gusto's open mouth deeply uncomfortable to look at? I think for me, it's that it doesn't look like the same person as his closed mouth. He looks like a different shaped guy. He looks like a Wario type of a guy. But yes. And then Dermo says, the best media is the stuff that breaks you. That is true. I've only, I think, once ever cried at a movie, and I was 6 years old when I saw it at a time. So I'm good at holding my emotions in, but man, I feel stuff, and sometimes things just haunt me. For example, Breaking Bad, man. There were some moments in that just left me, just like I said, just haunted for days afterward. Let me read just a couple more Twitch comments and we'll get back in the game. Bumble says, or that Magpie says, Darkwing Duck mentioned, love that show. See, Magpie, I knew you and probably Wendy would appreciate that. But yeah, it was with my favorite villain on the show, Bushroot. Garlic Ghost, how you doing? Says, week old cake. Sure sounds safe. No. Well, I guess it depends on how it was stored. Maybe if it's been a good chunk of that week in the refrigerator and not out in like a warm, humid kitchen. Doc said, lol, Darkwing Duck mentioned. Oh, do you like Darkwing Duck also, Doc? I hear that Seth Rogen has been trying to pitch a reboot of Darkwing Duck to Disney, which may or may not be like spinning off of the concept they did with the recent DuckTales series, and I don't know how I feel about that. Oak says, Persona is actually very inspired by Twin Peaks. P4 is like if Twin Peaks wasn't as depressing. Oak says, a fine idea. Nora says, no. Bubba says, we needed that. Bone says, I've never seen it. What is Twin Peaks even about? I believe it's like a murder mystery thing. I think Twin Peaks is like the name of the town it takes place in, and it's a murder mystery, right? Vera said, I hope you know this message delights me every time you send it. To Bumbo saying we needed that. And Vera says, I just go, haha. And Doc says, slow mode. Vera said, Transformers reference. Bumbo said, I could never get into Tacticia. Plus, the music was a rare Persona miss. I'd really like to try that, the Q Labyrinth game, but I guess that's still locked in DS or whatever. Nora says, XCOM? The Alien game? Oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I was mixing up with something else. But anyway, okay, so apparently TTS Girl wouldn't read that because there must have been an offending word in there. So let's see what it was. Oak says, Twin Peaks is fire. Walk With Me will haunt you more than Breaking Bad, especially the Blue Rose edit. It's a fan edit you can find free on the Internet Archive, and it's way better than the original. It's incredibly well incorporated and adds a bunch of bonus scenes that were originally cut for time. Boo. Ah. Wait, so what would TTS Girl have found offensive about that? I don't know. But thank you very much. Oh, sorry that TTS didn't read that, but thank you for the 10 bits. Thank you. Let's play some of the game, then we'll be back to the chat. But no corresponding pool of blood was found in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Huh?
She didn't agree.
Oh, apparently, she's not a Twin Peaks enjoyer. Or maybe she just didn't like the fan edit. Maybe she's like, no, I want to see the original's artistic vision rather than something an internet person made. But thank you for the 10 bits, Vera, and I gotta breathe again for a second. Like I said before, it was a lung kind of infection type of cold I had. And I think my lung capacity still hasn't quite recovered yet, so I'm having to stop and breathe more. But thank you for the 10 bits! Okay. All right, because the culprit had chucked the piece of chocolate with it into that little stream. Furthermore, aside from the liar, no traces of salt were found anywhere else in Mr. Frost's room either. Hey, come to think of it. So did his blood splash onto the liar? The lamps we found in Delicious room were both broken. Okay, so one had his blood on it, and he washed it off. But did he wash off over the statue? Or maybe in the murder, he accidentally broke part of the harp. And so he quickly chiseled off a chunk of the rock salt lamp as a replacement string, and that's why it was unbearably. It wasn't just that a little bit of the salt washed over; it's the whole thing was she ate a stick of rock salt, basically. The lamps appear to be broken.
Yeah, bulbs are smashed, both of them.
Maybe they all fell and broke on the floor. We never did find out how the one that wasn't used to kill Frost got busted, but are we thinking maybe it had Gusto's blood on it at some point? Anyone whose blood was found on one of the lamps would have been a person of interest to the police. So, the killer needed to hide the blood somehow, and in a way that wouldn't arouse suspicion. And you are seriously suggesting that the liar was used to do just that? I am. I suspect that the bloody salt was somehow applied to the liar so that it could be hidden inside the case. because unlike the fountain water, the sculptures would have needed more time and care to test properly. And so he waited and waited for his chance to dispose of the liar undetected. Then, the reason he's here today is 18 years ago, Mr. Frost's body and the evidence pointing to his killer were taken away together. This, of course, was not part of the perpetrator's plan, and thus a new dilemma arose. The possibility that the body, the incriminating evidence, or both would resurface one day. Okay, this all makes so much sense. There is no way Gavel can possibly object to this. This has got to convince her. So yeah, Gusto's probably just gonna go statute of limitations, we'll present the book, and then we're done, right? So back he comes 18 years later, sneaking in bright and early to try and cover his tracks. So he's gonna confess, and then we're good. Well, Mr. Gusto, are you finally ready to admit it? That you are the one responsible for the IS-7 incident, and no music at all this time. Have I lost my mojo? Mr. Gusto, it's all because of you that Samson... Gusto? So I finally got caught, huh? All these years later, I can admit it. Statute of limitations is what he's gonna do.
Nobody came close back then. Not even the big shot prosecutor or the attorney. That's some impressive work, Mr. Prosecutor. I have to hand it to you.
You admit it then, that you murdered Artie Frost.
Sure, I do. I did it. I killed him. What you gonna do about it? I did it. I get away with it too. But he only had himself to blame.
What do you mean by that?
So, he agreed to help me. We were supposed to help each other so that one of us could win. And whoever won was supposed to let the other use the cookbook. But on the day of the final, the rat finally showed his true colors. Seriously, Frost, we had a deal.
Frost doesn't have a voice.
Oh, sorry, I'm Artie Frost. I'm not helping you in the final. Our little agreement is over, Gusto.
But I helped you! I spent all day yesterday making the ice for your pieces!
Did you? And you can prove that, I suppose.
What do you... Wait, you were planning to betray me right from the start, weren't you? Huh?
Frost is Squidward.
Oh, I wish I could do a good Squidward. Then they could all be just SpongeBob characters from the rest of the game on. That'd be good. I appreciate that, Vera. Thank you for the 10 bits. I wish I could do... the one I really want to be able to do in SpongeBob is Plankton. I feel like Beef Longa is close to Plankton, but like not quite there.
After Frost double-crossed me, I had to make my piece for the final by myself. And like you said, my son wasn't there, so I didn't have any help with the flavor either.
So much for the pride you claim to have in your ability to make delicious desserts.
Go ahead and judge. You have no idea what it was like for someone like me to lose my sense of taste. I gave up everything to become the best. Everything. I take pride in that. Something someone like you could never understand.
I don't know. Edgeworth seems like a pretty prideful person. Let me read some more in the chat. Oak says to Bone, a very autistic FBI agent investigates a small town after a high schooler was murdered. So that's Twin Peaks. So yeah, I was right. It's a murder mystery. Garlic says, ooh, Hyrule Warriors is really fun. I want to play it one day. In fact, I think at one point I even put that up as a possible game to stream, but I don't think anybody ended up wanting to watch it, sadly. But I do want to play it at some point. Nora says, Oak, entirety of P4. Boma says, is there buffering? Oh, Vera said, nah, it's fine for me. Bone says, XCOM 2 does, in fact, have a snake lady, the enemy type named a Viper. I'm gonna Google that really quick. I want to see if that's the one I was thinking of. XCOM 2 Viper. And actually, I can't tell if that's the character I was thinking of, but it looks like it might be. The one I saw I thought was a bit more stylized than I'm seeing here. I might have to do some investigation, but thank you very much for the hint there. Oak said, and also high schooler has the most tragic life of all and is depicted in the most depressing way possible. Nora said, Bone, XCOM, as in the alien one. Vera said, whoa, Mr. Krabs guy is actually a bad father. Shocker. Well, isn't Mr. Krabs is, okay, I mentioned before, I've actually not watched a whole lot of SpongeBob, but he's got a daughter. Is he a good father to her, or is he a bad daughter? Like the whale girl, right? Oak said, the show is parodying traditional soap operas, but by episode 3, it just gets to be effing insane surrealist horror with every trigger warning under the sun and the most disturbing imagery ever. Nora says, Batty Verity. Bumble says, Bud, you just said that you don't need a son now that you have your taste back. Magpie says, I have so many Lego sets now. I'm so excited about it. Did you finish your Batman the Animated Series one? Oak says, what the F, Beef Longa? Oak says to Vero, he's gonna dawn it. Nora says, I'm so excited. I'm Auntie Nora, and I think you'll be pork beef. Vera says, uh-oh. Bone says, blowing up the moon. Who are you, Eggman? Vera said, I love this reference. Magpie says, my Lego light kit has arrived. I'm excited. A light kit? Is that just like for displaying them or something like that? Nora says, me too. Okay, let's, let me check over on YouTube because there's some more chatting going on over there. Dermo says, the best media. Oh, I read that. Yeah, stuff that breaks you. Opinion says, true. That's why Stars in Time is so good. You should talk to Queen Katie about that game. That's another one I'd like to try. I did see that apparently there was was there a demo that was like a prototype game for Stars in Time? Opinion says, TTS girl was taking a nap. Derma says, I'm not crying person either, but the stuff that makes you feel empty, like how can I even continue with the story? Most recently, mouthwashing left me shell-shocked. I think the last thing that really had a major impact on me was the 7th episode of Dawn to Dawn. And it wasn't like empty, but it was just like, oh my gosh, that was so tragic and sad, but beautiful. And yeah, for like 2 days after that, that's all I could think about. Crystal says, oh dang, YouTube is kind of chatty. Sup, YouTube? Opinion says hi. Derma says hi. Crystal said, Mr. Gusto confessed, so he confessed. Oh, it was because of you, Crystal. And Derma says, yeah, open mouth Gusto looks like he's from one of those bomb-swallowing enemies from Zelda. Oh yeah, oh crap, what are they called? I know what you're talking about, though. I know what you're talking about. And then Crystal's laughing, and Derma says, yeah, I love that episode. Opinion says, yes, that's Start Again, a prologue. It's a much shorter game, but it's still soul-destroying. Yeah, because I think I saw it pop up as on sale. By the way, speaking of sales, did you guys see what went on sale? I think it was just today. It is the Yakuza, what was it, a pirate Yakuza in Hawaii? The new game with Majima. With Goro Majima as a pirate in Hawaii.
I have to say, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me is harder to watch than Dan Down Episode 7. It's 3 hours of straight tragedy and some of the darkest stuff you will ever see. I'm traumatized. Boo.
Ah! I knew that was coming, but thank you for the 10 bits. I think one of the other things that haunted me, like again, going back to Breaking Bad, I won't say exactly what happens because I don't want to spoil it, but the season 5 episode, the one that ends with Todd doing the thing that was awful, and then the next episode begins with everybody having to like clean up the consequences of Todd doing the thing that is awful. That was like so hard to watch. That was the thing where I felt like any other show would have skipped over this and cut ahead to later and be like, oh, that was awful. But like it showed the consequences of every bad thing. Oh, and there's a pin message. This is written by Nora. Pinned by Vera said, Krabs is a decently good father. Okay, see, that makes me happy. I like the idea that he loves his kid. I like the idea that he loves his daughter. I also like the idea, I don't know if this is true or not. I like the idea that Plankton loves his wife, his robot wife. What's it, Karen? Is he a good husband to her? I feel like it's interesting how she's like kind of become an actual character. But let's play some more game, and we'll be back to read some more chat in just a minute. You're right. I don't understand. Do you take pride in the fact that you resorted to murder? Or that you abandoned your son? Why would I want to understand someone who could do such things? A man can't afford to rely on other people. I learned that the hard way 18 years ago. Well, somebody like screws him over in a contest. He's like, all right, I'm gonna kill a guy, break off contact with my son.
My son never showed up on the day of the final. And in hindsight, I wouldn't be surprised if Frost was the reason why.
So maybe, maybe I was right. Maybe Frost did, like, take him hostage or something? Also, I gotta goof off more. I just realized we haven't had any clips tonight at all, huh? Oak said, Logan, steal Plankton's robot wife and you'll be reincarnated as a lotus flower. It's your destiny. I think it's, I can't take another man's wife. She loves him. I cannot do that to her. I am not a monster. But thank you very much for the pinned message there. Why would you think that? What exactly happened, your son?
How am I supposed to know? I told you, he's none of my concern anymore. And according to you guys, nobody knows where he is now either.
Also, like, wasn't he a little kid? If like an 8-year-old doesn't show up one day, you don't do, cut off. You're like, oh crap, did something happen to you? I should reprioritize myself to take care of him. And you don't care? You're horrible. So, with his disappearance, so too went your chances of winning, correct?
Yeah, I had to find another way of getting my hands on that book. That's when inspiration struck. I decided to skip afternoon tea and snuck into Tangaroa's room.
Okay, so it's probably gonna be he's taking the pictures, and maybe Frost comes in and catches him and confronts him. So, like, I think I even said this last time, and that's probably where the fight actually happened.
It should have been so easy. All I had to do was photograph the formulas I needed and get out of there. But then Frost showed up.
Dang. Frost got as big of a forehead as me.
I thought I...
What do we do for his voice?
I thought I might find you here. Stealing recipes from the famous cookbook, huh? Tut, tut, tut. Frost! What's this? A cure for taste disorders? Oh no, that's just too tragic, huh?
Speaking of monsters, Larry was absolutely terrible today. He said that he wanted Maya to swoon for him and fall in love with him. Crying face emoji, 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 crying face.
Oh, and more crying face emojis. Thank you so much for the 10 bits. I mean, okay. He gets worse, though. I don't think this is really even a spoiler because I mentioned it before already, that at one point he hits on Pearl. And here's the thing with Maya. Creepy that he hits on her. But at the same time, you could almost say, like, okay, well, Maya is like 16. Maybe he somehow thought she was older than she was. I mean, she still looked pretty young back in that first game, but it's like, you could almost say, like, maybe there are some circumstances where he was just dumb and mistaken. With Pearl, she's like freaking 8! There's like no way he didn't know how awful and inappropriate he was being. So thank you very much for the 10 bits. And yes, Larry, you monster.
A confectioner who can't taste anything. What'll people say?
I don't like this voice for him, but I can't think of a better one.
If you tell anybody, I'll... Argna! You what? You can't even hit me, you miserable worm. Who are you? Frost shoved me hard! He pushed me. So I'm allowed to do murder. It's like a self-defense. Frost shoved me hard when I went to punch him. Never mind, he was doing the self-defense. Knocked me clean off of my feet. I crashed into one of the lamps. Must have been when my blood got on it.
So Mr. Frost wasn't the first to get hurt?
When it was all over, I realized I had to get rid of that blood somehow. So I scraped off all of the bloodied bits. I dissolved those salt shavings in some flavored ice mixture and brushed it all over the arm.
Why? Why didn't you toss that into the river? Why? Or, I mean, this is gonna sound gross, eat it. But it's your own blood. If you get like a bloody nose, some gets in your mouth, you go, oh, ew, but whatever. You don't freak out about it. Like, you can swallow your own blood. You can swallow your own blood. Oh, here we go. Pin message. Written by Queen Katie, pinned by Vera, said, final case 3 name fact. It's our victim, finally. Paul's Japanese name is Paul Holik. It's a play on asking for trouble or digging one's own grave, a reference to how he tried to blackmail Gusto. His given name in Japanese can be read as Pole, a possible reference, is that Pole or Pole, to his career as a sculptor. Interesting. So that's why we hadn't seen it before. Paul Lilleek's official English given name comes from his career as an artist, where his surname references his work with ice. It is also an alternate spelling of his original Japanese name. I think it's a fine way to look at it. Alternate spelling of the Japanese, but you kind of had to like keep the PH initials for the sake of the visual thing. Although I guess they could have like changed the visual like they did with, didn't Phoenix's Feeny sweater, they changed to have like a P on it instead of an N or something like that. His fan translation name is Pierre Hoquet. Hoquet is a French word for hiccup, while Pierre is a stereotypical French name. Pierre Hoquet sounds a lot like parakeet, meaning parrot in French. Oh, I actually like that better, come to think of it. I mean, Paul Halik is okay, you know what? I'm gonna give a point narrowly to the fan translation for this. But also good on the official English translation for just going, hey, there's really nothing wrong with the Japanese name. Let's just change the spelling a little bit. Let me have a dab on this there. Okay, play some more game.
I dissolved those salt shavings into some flavored ice mixture and brushed it all over the harp. And that's how you made the evidence linking you to the murder veg. But why that way? That is the most complicated and difficult and like... no, why? There are so many other things he could have done. I'm sure the kitchen probably had a sink somewhere. Wash it down the drain. Stuff it under his shirt and go to the bathroom and flush the shaved ice down the toilet. Frost was going to blackmail me. He would have made me give him money to keep quiet about my condition. So, you decided you had to kill him? I mean, that's stupid as well. You get the cookbook, you cure yourself, and it's like, all right, go ahead, try and blackmail me. Say like, oh, you developed a taste disorder. Well, I'm cured of it now. No problem.
Hey, Alonda, can you check auto-modded messages for no particular reason? Thanks.
Okay, thank you for the 10
No.
bits. Oh, that was not a boo. Okay, auto-modded messages. Okay, I gotta scroll up. Oh, there we go. Held message for bullying. It's already expired though. But he was encouraging. I think encouraging. No, is it encouragement or accusing? No. Oh yeah, you were encouraging me to make Plankton into a cuckold, saying he deserves it. That is, I don't know. I think Plankton is fun. But thank you very much for the TTS. Sorry that it already expired and I couldn't put that into the chat. I gotta read some more in the chat though. I've gotta be so far behind. I haven't seen a timestamp yet. We're over the 2-hour mark. Oak says, my theory, I don't know if it's spoilers, but if so, spoilers for AA1. I think that the caretaker guy is Yanni Yogi, and I think the letter about getting revenge on Edgeworth was written by himself. He has memory loss, and the instructions were kind of detailed, so I think it could be a letter he wrote to himself. Well, I mean, because we don't want to give spoilers to even to you because you haven't finished it, I won't comment on whether your theory is correct or not. What parts may be close, what parts may be far away, or anything of that nature. But your theory is noted. Oak said Beef Longa will get some insane lore tonight. Vera said that was fast. Nora said jaundice. Oak is a baby reference. Lesbian Wolf said Beef Longa destroyed the moon. Broken heart. Oak says chairman. 10 out of 10. Holy crap, incredible pun. Which was the incredible pun? Vera said that was a good 8 joke. Vera says amazing. Nora said 10 out of 10 joke. One after another. Oh my gosh, 10 out of 10. Doc said the puns are just flowing out. Vera says Eustace. Vera said Hall of Fame. Oak says Hall of Fame. Vera said 1:16:40. I am 45 minutes behind. Lesbian Wolf says Ace Attorney versus Dads. Disney versus Moms. Ace Attorney versus Dads. Disney versus Moms. There we go. Bone says, add quote, they just love killing biological fathers. They do. Bone says, I thought I saw someone use that command. Yeah, because only mods can actually add the quotes, but a lot of time people will use that if they want to recommend one for a mod to possibly add. And there we go. Vero just added the quote. Said, yep, only mods. Nora says, oh no. Oak said, the baby's name is a cliffhanger. I thought you were going to say is cliffhanger. Thank you, Toilet Duck. I really should save. It's been a long time since I have. So thank you, Toilet Duck. Quickie said, why are we talking about pee? because of the moon. Nora said, name is Nora Jr. Vera said, the namesake is Cliff Jumper from Transformers. Crystal said, me and our class picked debate as our final project. That was pinned earlier. Vera said, literal name, Cliffhanger. Oak said, Queen Katie Beef Longa's baby was confirmed to be P at the gender reveal party. Nora said, Crystal, I missed you. Vera said, get the Miles style. Queen Katie said, well, I'm gonna nab some more chocolate. I finally got my hands on a chocolate bunny, already devoured its head, so the next is the chest. I actually got lucky, so on Monday, I went to the store to look for day after Easter candy, and they were out. Like, the store I go to, like that Walmart, was just like empty. They had some cotton candy shaped like carrots, and they had moved some Reese's Puffs cereal where the pieces looked like rabbit heads to the candy aisle, and like that was it. It was just empty. I had never seen anything like that the day after a holiday. But I was also gonna get some cold medicine because I was sick, and I couldn't get any there, so I went to Walgreens, and Walgreens had the Reese's peanut butter eggs on sale for half off, baby. So I did end up getting some, so I'm happy. So because of my cold, I had Reese's eggs that I wouldn't have had otherwise. Eglin said, just know I will drop Beef's baby at some point. Please do, Eglin. I love all your fan art of the channel lore so much. Vera said, Miles' character development real. Nora said, Tweet Kitty, wait girl, same, I decapitated it. Vera says, the things this community makes you draw. Quigita said, oh wait, not yet. I think I'm about to present the name fact, lol. Eglin said, I drew both my bosses as the Queen Never Cry Baby once. This is just another Thursday. Oh, I remember that meme. What was that meme even from originally? It was from like some show, right? Vera said, laughing amazing. Crystal says, I shall become Miles Edgeworth in real life, folks. Eglin said, if I could get a description on both Beef Longa and his wife, I could put the traits into a Sims baby generator and draw the baby in on that. Honestly, I forgot I had the Sims baby generator in my bookmarks. Okay, well here, I'll show you Beef Longa. Lurkers, I will get back to the game, but I gotta go to the starting soon screen, not scream, sorry, screen, and I'll show you Beef Longa. He looks like this. This is Beef Longa's canonical appearance. He has Goku hair, really fiery, almost like orangish eyebrows. He has yellow goggle type glasses, a teal mustache, and I think in the game Dream Daddy that was supposed to be a piercing, but I headcanon that as a piece of rice stuck perpetually in his mustache. And in this case, he's wearing a button-up shirt that looks like 90s arcade carpet and a jacket. So there we go. Let's get back into the game and play some more, and hopefully I'll eventually catch up, because we have less than an hour to finish, and because y'all's points are on the line for the prediction.
Yeah, I guess I did. Why would I let him live? Would you want someone holding something like that over your head? Besides, he's the one who drew first blood. Makes for a solid case of self-defense, don't you think? So, that was the impetus behind it all. Anyway, I initially took the lamp to Frost's room. Went straight there once I'd figured out how I was going to hide the bloody part. Inspired by all the ice sculpting tools lying about the place, I guess. You're not as dumb as you pretend to be. Yeah, I figured I could use them to chip it off and grind it up. Once that was done, painting the stuff all over the harp was easy. But why, Samson? Why did you have to frame him? I never meant for the cops to pin it on him. That was your fault. You and the rest of them. Oh? Why do you think I went to the trouble of placing the lamps and cloths back in Scone's room? I wanted to frame her. Not Samson. I liked your show. I liked the Bake and the Bop. There's only one reason to plant the murder weapon in the room of another contestant, and that's to cast suspicion on that person. Okay, credit where it's due. Didn't Von Karma say that's probably why it was found in there? He just assumed that Samson had been the one who planted it there. As awful and evil as Von Karma was, he was correct about that. That it was obviously planted. Wow. Wow, I'm giving credit to Manfred Von Karma for something. What? Oh, you tried, hang on, there we go. You tried to frame me, Gusty Pants? Oh, yeah. I asked you out on a date and you said you only wanted to be just friends.
But why? Why poor old me?
I respected Tangaroa. He was the best, like no one ever was. To bake them was his real test. To taste them was his cause. A true champion. I would never have wanted him to take the fall. But you're a fraud. Your work wasn't even real. You had no respect for our craft at all. You deserve to be punished for what you did.
Oh, Gusty, how could you?
And had you refrained from eating Tangaroa's work, Mr. Frost's body wouldn't have been found. My plan was to wait until Tangaroa was judging your room. That's when I'd sneak the corpse into Frost's room and freeze it. But thanks to you, Bound found it before I had the chance to retrieve it. I don't understand.
Crap, I can't do her accent and an Italian accent back to back.
I have to think of Diego Armando. I don't understand. Why did you need to freeze his body at all? Ha! Why, indeed. Mr. Edgeworth, surely you must know.
Oh crap, it's gonna ask me. It's gonna ask me, let's save, and then we'll, why would he want to freeze the body?
Why did Mr. Gusto need to freeze Mr. Frost's body?
To pass it off as an ice sculpture, to obscure the time of death, to hide the true crime scene. Okay, to obscure the time of death makes sense with freezing, but to hide the true crime scene, I think, makes the most sense. Because Frost's room was frigid, and it would make it seem like he was killed there. So it's not to obscure the time of death, it's to obscure the location. So let's say that, to hide the true crime scene. The reason Mr. Gusto had to freeze the body was to hide the true scene of the crime from the police.
So he wanted to confuse them over where it really happened?
Oh, wait, crap, maybe that actually doesn't work. I was gonna say that would throw suspicion off of of Tangaroa, but it would just put it onto Artie Frost. Oh crap, I think I did it stupid.
That's one heck of an icy glare from Judge Cavell, Mr. Edgeworth.
Gnuck. All right, message received. Oh, I don't lose hit points. Okay. To hide, no, okay, to obscure the time of death then. Mr. Gusto needed to freeze Mr. Frost's body in order to obscure the time of death. If they'd determined that the murder occurred during afternoon tea, he would have been an obvious suspect. Okay, that makes sense. Let me read some more in the chat. I'm sure I'm still like 45 minutes behind. I'll read some Twitch, then I'll read some YouTube. Let's see. Veer said, hate to lurk as soon as he read my unlurk, but I need to go get a sandwich. I'll BRB salute. Lurk, thank you for the lurk, although you're probably back already, but I hope the sandwich was delightfully good. Lesbian Wolf said, I do mean DC Comics is Tim Drake! Folks, he's my favorite Robin. Oh, I love that Lesbian Wolf. Have I mentioned this before to you? He is my favorite DC character. One of my two favorite, just any type of superhero comic book character. When I grew up reading X-Men comics and Batman comics, I found okay, it's a long story, but one of my favorite things to do was to go back issue diving at a comic shop. And I would just go, and they were used like $1 each or something like that at the shop that I went to. And I stocked up on old Detective Comics, old Batman, old X-Men, old Uncanny X-Men. And my two favorite characters in all comics were Tim Drake, Robin, and Jubilee in X-Men. And so that makes me happy. I'm so happy. I love Tim Drake, Robin. And there was apparently a crossover in the 1990s where the two of them smooched it up a bit. So yeah, DC and Marvel apparently wanted to write something just for me. Crystal with a timestamp 128, I'm still 45 minutes behind, said, rip Hogan's bowling trauma /HJ. Quickity said, captions, I'm in the Skype arc. Is Skype still even around? I feel like before COVID, I'd occasionally hear people talking about using Skype, and then suddenly Zoom just took over everywhere. Let's see, Queen Gator says, so much bits today. Oak says, cooties is a sexually transmitted disease, except you can even get it just from smooching, too. Like mono. Nora said to Oak, no, you just have to be near girls to get cooties. Collaborate. And there was Atlantic with the Seekers. Atlantic said, hey, back to lurk. Eglin said, well, that's new. Oh, had you not seen the Seekers command, Eglin? Queegator said, 131, timestamp. Nora said, 131:43. Crystal says, if Logan marries and gets kids, I want to be their cute aunt. I would love, like, for you guys to be aunts and uncles to my kids if I could just find a girl and get married and have kids. Nora said, wait, I want to be an aunt too. Oak said, I want to be an aunt. Queegator said, I have the guide, yellow potato, whatever. Lesbian Wolf says, salt lamp. Oak said, being an aunt/uncle just seems like you get all the benefits of kids, but none of the drawbacks. Oh, exactly. I've got a niece and 2 nephews, and it was great. Even when they were like little babies, it'd be really cute. You play with them and everything. And then as soon as it's like, oh, poopy diaper. All right, off to the parents. You guys get to deal with that gross stuff now. Queegator said, please don't type the answer unless Logan asks for it. Lesbian Wolf says, got it. There's a toilet duck. Thank you, toilet duck. I'm a good trained Pavlovian dog, so I will save again. Wait, actually. Yeah, because we're not losing hit points for this, and I'm pretty sure this one's correct, so it's fine to do it right now. Let's see, and Oak said, but no corresponding poo. And Lesbian Wolf says, lol. Queegator with a hydrate. I will do that right now. Oh crap, what did I accidentally click? What was Edgeworth saying right before this? Oh yeah, if they determined that the murder occurred during afternoon tea, he would have been an obvious suspect.
Bingo.
I'll hydrate. Thank you, Queen Katie. Oh, and Vera says, I return. Unlurk. See, how's the sandwich? Oak says, Vero. And Vera says, hi, I have a sandwich. Garlic said, what kind of sandwich? Oak said, does the sandwich perhaps have garlic in it? Vera said, peanut butter and cream cheese. Have we talked about that before? I feel like that was brought up before. And somebody said that. It was probably Vera. And at first I'm like, that sounds gross. And the more I thought about it, it's like, actually, that might be good. I do need to try that at some point. And Oak says, oh, garlic. You were safe. Vera said, no eating chat for tonight. And Garlic says, thank goodness. Let's see, over on YouTube. Let's see, Opinion says, where did the be reincarnated as a lotus flower thing come from? I've seen that a couple times recently. This is my first time seeing it recently, but isn't that like in like Hindu mythology, whatever you want to call it? That you die and you try and get reincarnated, and each time you get reincarnated, you either go up the ladder if you were good or down the ladder if bad, and like the top ladder like cows, and I guess maybe lotus flowers, and the bottom is like, I don't know, snails and scummy stuff like that. But I could be wrong. Genos, how you doing? Said, man, this bacon stuff gets serious. I know. I feel like in anime, that's always everything, whatever you were into, you take it so seriously, and Gusto would totally just kill somebody over. But how you doing, Genos? Derma said, how about Gordon Ramsay for Frost? Oh, well, he would just be British and angry and cursing a lot. I feel like I wouldn't be able to do that and distinguish him from Gregory Edgeworth enough. But I do like the concept. That is a great concept.
Remember the girl who was so excited to stay for the entire stream? She's about to pass
No!
out. I want to stay so bad because I want to see what happens, and I've missed you guys, but I am so freaking exhausted. Frown, I'm sorry. Love you all. Good night. Less than 3. Blue.
Thank you so much for the 10 bits. Okay, in that case, let's at least try and move forward with the case here a little bit and try and get through. In fact, I do see Opinion saying I want to see you finish this case so bad, but I'm also so EP. So let's try and play some more. Let's try and see if we can get to the end. Plus, prediction points are on the line. I'll be back to the chat soon, I promise.
Freezing Frost's body wasn't simple. Preparing everything took time. So I decided to put his body in the chest in Tangaroa's room while I got everything ready in Frost's. Oh. At the time, it seemed like the perfect hiding place. Never counted on some gluttonous pharmacist showing up and making the whole ship collapse.
They call me gluttonous.
Yeah, I still don't get it though. Why disguise the body as an ice sculpture at all?
The sooner it was found, the smaller the effect of freezing it would have had on masking the time of death. Therefore, he needed to disguise it, at least until it had fully frozen. How awful. Using Mr. Frost's own work to help you cover up the truth behind his murder.
Ironically, Tangaroa would have been just fine if the body hadn't been found before I got out of his room. If only things had gone to plan, he wouldn't even had to have been arrested, let alone convicted.
You mean it was my fault? Oh crap. Oh, this is a horrible thing for her to believe. Everything that happened to Samson. It was all because I found the body? Don't let him get inside your head, Judes. None of this is your fault. Yeah, because it's like if he hadn't killed Artie Frost, then none of this would have happened.
If it wasn't Samson, it would have been Delicia instead. She would have been the one they arrested. Either way, there's only one person to blame here, and that's Gusto. It didn't help that the initial detective was so bad at his job either. He never even told the prosecutor that the body had vanished. So then, Mr. Von Karma had unwittingly placed Mr. Tangaroa under arrest in the absence of a body? I mean, I guess it would explain why he was so keen to wrap things up. Still, you'd think he'd notice something as big as that if he'd taken a look at a few reports, right? Not if someone had been deliberately distorting the facts of the case, though. Either way, it seems that Mr. Von Karma didn't know about the body until after the arrest had been made. But admitting that would have spoiled his perfect record. So, he kept it to himself and proceeded to prosecute Mr. Tangaroa regardless. Can this really be true? Okay, she's finally come around to believe in it. You don't feel bad at all? Somebody spent 18 years in prison because of you. And somebody spent 18 years dead because of him. Okay? Sticks and stones, girlie. Sticks and stones.
Hey, what a jerk. I got to arrest you right now, pal. Sticks and stones you. Yeah. But then now he's going to bust out the, watch. He's going to bust out the statute of limitations stuff. or she will. I'm afraid I can't allow you to do that, detective. Hey. Oh, Edgeworth.
Hey. So you noticed, huh? Glad that somebody did. The judge is right. You can't lay a finger on me.
What? Why? You just confessed to murder.
Hey. No idea, huh? Then I guess I'd better lay it out for you.
Oh, we are doing a cross-examination. I thought he was just gonna say it. Well, you can't arrest me.
I killed Frost 18 years ago. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years. Do the math, you can't arrest me. You think I'd have confessed otherwise? Hey.
Okay, so we know what we're gonna do. This is gonna be super easy. And then this has gotta be like the end of the case, right? That's right! The statute of limitations is only 15 years! Is this really the end of the line, Mr. Edgeworth? Once the statute has expired, he can't be charged. So, but... How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, but even if we didn't have the whole thing that he left the country and we could still nail him, at the very least, A, Samson Tangaroa should be released from prison. B, Judy Bound is no longer accused as an accomplice in that murder. She's still got to deal with having attempted murder on him, but still. And I guess stealing and keeping frozen bodies. I'm afraid that both Mr. Gusto's confession and your deductions will have to be struck from the record. And that Mr. Tangaroa's conviction will remain in play. Why? No, that doesn't make any sense. Statute of limitations means he can't be prosecuted, but this is still evidence to exonerate him. But we've finally proven that the police never had Mr. Frost's body in their possession. Even if we can't arrest Mr. Gusto, surely Mr. Tangaroa has grounds for a retrial on that basis. Yes. Does he? I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid that the goddess's judgments are somewhat harder to overturn than you might imagine. So, the committee means for the verdict from 18 years ago to stand no matter what. Okay, she's just full on a villain then. Before I'm like, maybe she's just stupidly helping Eustace, but no, this is... She might be being like blackmailed or bribed by Zhang Fa, but she's full on bad guy. Let me read some more in the chat. Oak says, Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me caused me to have a mental breakdown for 3 days straight, and I'm still devastated. Queen Kate says, by the way, since it's been a good while since Sunday, I never got to watch John Wick on Easter. Ended up being just a chill day laying around. Did you eventually watch it, though? Like some other time? Doc said, not sure if 2017 is recent. It feels like it is it not? Oak says, it's okay, TTS girl, you can be wrong. Lesbian Wolf said, TTS disagrees, decided not to read, lol. Veer said, new lore, she doesn't like Twin Peaks. Oak said, I mean, it's a fan edit, but it isn't really. It's more like a director's cut that wasn't officially released. It was technically made by the fans, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't change the artistic intent at all. It just adds back in scenes that were originally locked as bonus content. The movie feels less whole without the content. Okay, so it's just splicing in deleted scenes? But, I mean, did David Lynch want those deleted scenes deleted? That's the question. Oak says, ooh, climax to the case is coming. Oak says, gosh, it's such a good movie, but I am haunted to this day after watching without spoiling. It's a prequel about what happened before the murder victim died, especially after you've seen Twin Peaks. It hits so hard and fixes so many of the issues I had with season 2's conclusion. Could we get a said final case 3 name fact incoming? Oh, and we have a clip. We have a clip for those who are lurking or who don't know. Whenever someone posts a clip into the Twitch chat, we load it up into our clip viewer so we can all watch together. This will also give me a timestamp. Let me know how far behind I am. 38 minutes. I'm getting closer. This is titled Pure Italian Murderous Joy. So let's watch this together.
Sure, I do. I did it. I killed him. What you gonna do about it? I did it. I get away with it too. But
I get away with it too. Thank you for the clip. I sound different in my head versus in the actual stream. So thank you very much, Oak. I appreciate that clip. Oak says something about Logan's face and voice in the clip makes me so happy. The whimsy of the confession just brings a smile to my face. Oh, thank you. Lesbian Wolf says, I'm gonna fall asleep. Good night, chat. Good night, Lesbian Wolf. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with us. Sorry we didn't get to the end of the case before you had to go to bed. Beer said, rest well. Oak said, good night. Garlic said, nighty wolf. Doc says, night. Quigata said, Krabs is a semi-good father to Pearl. Oak said, lesbian wolf, lesbio wolf, Beowulf. Nora said, Krabs is a decently good father. Vera said, you heard it from the people. Oak said, this is my impression of if Hugh O'Connor was Beowulf instead. Ooh, I like that. Magpie says, yes, the light kit is for my Batman the Animated Series Lego kit. It's supposed to add lights to make the scene even cooler. I'll post pics when done. So is it designed specifically for that kit, like an upgrade for that specific kit? That's really cool. Fear says, I am so excited for Logan to read it. Okay, in that case, I gotta go back. We gotta read it as Athena Sykes, like she's thinking about, like, you're a goner. Lesbian wolf. Lesbian wolf, lesbian wolf, Beowulf, 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 Hugh O'Connor, Hugh O'Connor, Hugh O'Connor, Hugh O'Connor, Hugh O'Connor, Hugh O'Connor is a lesbian furry. There we go. That's how it goes. Let's see. Nora says, oh no, episode 7. Bone says, Dodongo. Oh, was that the thing? Yeah, the thing that eats the bombs in Legend of Zelda. Whenever I hear that name, I always think of the, crap. Which one of the CDI games that was like, I'm so hungry, I could eat a Dodongo or something like that? Queen Katie says, Oak, you should check the Magnus Archives. It's peak. Doc says, Queen Katie, Magnus Archives mentioned. Still need to finish it. Oak says, Logan, steal Plankton's robot wife and you'll be reincarnated as a lotus flower. It's your destiny. Garlic says, oh my gosh, Magnus Archives. Vera said, Hall of Fame. And Vera said, should I even allow that? Oak says, yes. Queen Katie said, 15606. So I'm like a little over a half hour behind. Vera said, it'll be startling to have that as a permitted word. That's another one that I'm not sure if when abbreviated, it sounds so close to a bad word that I'm not sure if I can say that. Quigata said, okay, now the name fact is incoming. Oak said, this will be the first and last time anyone will ever try to say that in Logan Robo chat. Vera said, it's okay, he will see it when he gets there. I'd rather not permit without asking. And then a Larry, you monster. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else going on over in YouTube? Crystal says, every 2 seconds, get the freak out of here. Opinion says, yeah, I've got to go to bed. Oh, I have to watch the VOD. Enjoy these last interrogations and hope to see you when you start case 4. Crap, is it plural? Are there more than just this one? But thank you for being here, Opinion. Get some rest. Good night. Thank you for being here. Bye. Dermot says, bye. Jenno says, man, Jeff Tangaroa became one of my favorite witnesses to seeing this scene. Was incredibly sad and YOIW for your opinion is wrong. Well, I like that abbreviation, Yahweh. But yeah, because like, turns out he's a really nice guy, and Judy Bound is nice. A little bit, you know, revengey, but nice. By the way, we are now at the 2.5 hour mark, so now is a real good time to start keeping an eye out for raid suggestions for later on. And I still need to figure out how to like raid on YouTube as well. But then I'd probably have to get raid suggestions over there too. But anyway, let's play a little bit more. So, the committee means for the verdict from 18 years ago to stand no matter what.
Hey. Bad luck, Mr. Prosecutor.
There must be something we can do. Something to bring Mr. Gusto down.
Rebuttal, why you can't arrest me?
Even though we already know what we're presenting, it's going to be the Statute of Limitations for Dummies book. We're still going to press every statement because there might be some fun dialogue. But let's save first, and we'll do that. And then hopefully it'll be like a breezy cutscene after that to the end of the case. I think we got this in the bag. And I'm realizing, yeah, I was way too too optimistic to think I was close to finishing this case last time.
I killed Frost 18 years ago.
Hold it! The passage of time doesn't diminish what you did, Mr. Gusto.
It sure diminishes one thing, though. Your ability to arrest me. Oh, you hear that? Oh, you hear that? Bang.
Oh, we can arrest you. We can arrest you real good. Even if the statute of limitations is expired, I'll just plant some evidence. Oh, you see that kid over there? Bang. He hold this gun for a second. Oh, he just killed the kid. He just killed that kid. Everybody else here, go along with that, okay? Huh?
Also, update on THL, LDA I'm on day 18 now after about 2 hours or so.
Day 18 after 2 hours or so. Okay, oh crap, for some reason I thought that when you said day 7, I thought that was like a longer, okay. So day 18 after 2 hours. Okay, so 7 hours, okay. That's actually moving a lot faster than I would have expected. So maybe that'll be a short game. Maybe we will, I don't know, but thank you very much for the update, Tiff! And look, there's Gumshoe on the screen for you. Killing kids and planting evidence like Gumshoe can. But thank you so much for the 10 bits, Tiff! I can have you in cuffs before you can even blink, pal. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, this issue isn't as open and shut as you're making it out to be, Detective.
Yeah. You can't touch me. It's too late for that. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years.
And that's where we're going to present the book later. Say it's 15 years, but it pauses if you go to a different country like Zhangfa. Depending on your actions over the last 18 years, the statute may not have expired yet. Yeah, but hang on, Edgeworth, we're just checking for extra content. Hold your horses, buddy.
Yeah. This ought to be good. All right, I got nothing to hide. If there's something you want to ask it.
Very well. Tell us where you've been and what you've been doing since the incident.
Sure. Not long after the contest, I was able to cure my taste disorder thanks to the formula from that book. And not so long after that, I went to Zhangfa to really buckle down and hone my craft. Well, that explains a lot. We tried to contact you after the fact, but I guess you were long gone by then, huh? Could be. I left, let's see, around a year after the murder. That was before Tangaroa's last day in court. Going to Zhangfa was the best thing I ever did. Oh, look at this. This is just being a wolf like this one guy, Lang. Oh, he's a little wolf man. Oh, I love Zhangfa. Oh, wow, you know, the red light district there, they let you do like crazy crap. Flavor, design, I'm the full package now.
And all on the backs of those whose lives you destroyed.
What's an omelet without a few eggs, huh? Nothing, Mr. Prosecutor, nothing.
Hey long man. This is a test TTS, you don't need to worry about it. Blue.
Thank you for the 10 bits. I'm guessing you're probably trying to slow me down. It's probably like, ah, crap, people who voted that I wouldn't finish the case by 3 hours are like, he's almost there. We can all sense it. We can all taste it. Just like Gusto can now taste stuff. But thank you for the 10 bits. I appreciate that. You're evil!
Sticks and the stones, girlie. You can't arrest me, and that's all that matters.
Oh, I need more to work with. There has to be something I can get out of him. Maybe I can push him further on the statements he just made. Is there anything I should follow up on? Yeah, his training in Zhangfa. I'd like you to tell us more about your training in Zhangfa, if you wouldn't mind.
Fine. I later went to Zhangfa to train, and I finally became the best in the world.
Okay, where is that putting in the order? Okay, that's there. Let's press the last two statements first before we press that one in case it, like, forces me to present evidence, huh?
Nope, they were testing to see if the TTS messages were causing the lag.
Well, that's an interesting theory. So, are they? I don't know why they would. Although I guess that, like, bits being spent is a function of Twitch. You would think, if anything, Twitch would want to encourage the use of bits and would make sure that that's the time when things are the absolute best. But thank you for the 10 bits and for the experimentation, for the science.
You do the math. You can't arrest me.
Hold it! Never say never, Mr. Gusto. Nothing is impossible.
Oh, really? Come on, give it up. Your father couldn't catch me. What makes you think you can?
Ah! He would have solved the whole case if it hadn't been for Mr. Von Karma obstructing him at every turn. And now, the statute of limitations is threatening to inter the truth of this case forever.
Don't listen to him, Mr. Edgeworth. You can't give up. Not now. We're doing this for your dad. So we have to see it through to the end.
Okay.
Were you saying my name, or were you saying, okay, I'm gonna look it tough there? The truth is right there for the taking. What kind of great thieves are we if we don't grab it for ourselves?
Okay, I'm not a great thief. Oh, I'm not a great thief, Kay. But you're right. Carmelo Gusto! I won't allow you to make off with the truth.
Do your worst. You think I'd have confessed otherwise?
Hold it!
That was the only reason? Because you knew the statute had expired.
Why else would I do it? Why would anybody? Not that I'd planned on it ever coming out, of course.
And why was that?
Because I'm finally the world's greatest confectioner. And petty stuff like this only gets in the way of me and my craft.
So you're more concerned about you and your rep than the fact that Samson's still rotting in jail? I've seen some pieces of work in my time, but you? Oh, you're just flat out unforgivable. Wonder when we see Samson again, because like the last time we saw him was in the past in the flashback, and in one day he went like Snow White hair. Is he gonna be like completely bald if we see him in the present?
Who cares about forgiveness? I did what I did, and I don't need you to understand any of it.
All right, Miles, it's official. Uncle Eddie is mad, and that doesn't happen often. You wouldn't like Uncle Eddie when he's mad. Oh, I'm gonna do something awful. I'm gonna do something highly inappropriate.
Fudge you.
Sorry for my language, but I felt like that was appropriate for a confectioner. Got him. You're not the only one. But don't worry, he won't get away with this, not if I can help it. Mr. Gusto is no ordinary opponent. He's gone 18 years without his crimes being exposed.
Think, Mr. Edgeworth, there must be some way for us to arrest him.
The guy's probably watched a few legal dramas before, but he's no lawyer, not like you and me. There's gotta be some loophole somewhere we can use. There's just gotta. He's right. Mr. Gusto is just an armchair attorney after all. Okay, so then we just gotta press this last statement. We'll present the statute of limitations for dummies, and we're good.
I later went to Zhangfa to train and finally became the best in the world.
Zhangfa? And you were there for a while, I imagine.
Yeah?
My theory is that maybe your alert forbids unloads after a certain amount of inactivity, and when it loads back after a dono, it might overload your computer and lag a bit. I have no evidence, but if it does lag more when bits show up, it's the only theory I have. Also, DC, sometimes when you switch...
Oh, sometimes when you switch screens, I notice the FPS drops a bit. Okay, when the FPS drops when I switch screens, that is my computer. It's because it's just sometimes struggles to do the transition properly. For the TTS, though, I don't think that's my computer because unlike the old free VIP TTS, which eventually broke, this TTS is not run on my computer. It's entirely run off, like, on the internet. So that's not anything that I'm doing. So unless Twitch just can't handle it, so I'm not sure. But thank you for the 10 bits. I should read some more in the chat, though, because I am still way behind. And we got like 20 minutes to finish this case. I think we've got it in the bag. Let's see, there were some pinned messages. Oak says, Logan, I'm so sorry to do this to you. Your haircut does look a little bit like Larry's haircut. No! I'm sorry. This is a Larry problem, not a you problem. He's trying to steal your style. You know, yeah, his is like obviously a lot bigger. But I have mentioned the one cool thing about him is he has good hair. He's a monster, but a monster with good hair. Fear said that's heartbreaking to Oak. Garlic says, I always did an aggressive French accent for Frost, but that did make it hard to take him seriously. Oh, I should have tried that. That would have been good because Halik, it's French. Oh, I should have tried that. Missed opportunity, but I like the way you think, Garlic. Quigator said, Paul, oh, that was more pin stuff. Oh, and another clip. Hang on, let me load this one up. Also, hang on. I'm just noticing some lag on my screen. I gotta breathe for a second, hang on. Okay, once again, for anyone lurking who still does not know the deal, whenever someone posts a clip into the Twitch chat, we load it up on the clip viewers so we can all watch together. This clip from 42 minutes ago, crap, I'm further behind, is titled, He Tried to Push Me. So let's check this out. This will give me a chance to have some water and breathe for a second.
Frost shoved me hard. He pushed me. So I'm allowed to do murder. It's like self-defense. Frost shoved me hard when I went to punch him. Never mind, he was doing the self-defense. Knocked me clean off of my feet.
Regardless, there is some self-defense claim in there. I think a very solid one. But thank you very much for the clip. I appreciate that. Doc says Feeney's jumper was like Ryu or something, wasn't it? Oh yeah, because it's like somebody said because it was part of his Japanese name, but they changed like I think like a P, right? For the English, I can't remember. Was it a P or a PH? Viewer said, yep, Ryuichi, I think is his name, Japanese name. Oak said, no, I meant to say boo, but I autocorrected to no. Ah! Bubble says, Logan, please hurry up. Bone says 20409. Vera said, you're so mean to Plankton. Oak said, I've never seen the show. I don't know what he did, but I don't like his face. Well, I mean, he is a bad guy, so that's fair. Nora said, I'm so tired. Oak says, Logan being synced on my computer and phone is weird because I look at my phone and Logan's voice is synced and I feel like I have too much power. Unlimited power. Vera said, it was from a manhwa. Oak said, I need to make my pork shorta fan art. Doc said, belonga. Bubba says, I meant that ticket back. Crystal said, 20908. Oak said, I don't think the alert shows up in the starting soon screen. Petition to refund Bumbo. Oh crap, did Bumbo do an alert? Oh, then what happened? Oh crap, it doesn't.
Sending bits is probably a bad idea, but stream just died immediately after the dono. Even if the bits don't get processed on your computer, the alert does so it might slow down your CPU and cause it to stop sending your stream's information and spend a bunch of power to load the alert instead.
Crap, I don't want to get rid of the TTS. That's one of the most fun parts of the stream. Otherwise, like it's the best way for like immediate communication. Thank you for the 10 bits. I hope that's not the case. Did it happen again? Anyway, I guess we'll keep experimenting. If that's the case, I mean, denying reality won't help anything, but I hope that's not the case. But thank you for the 10 bits. I should keep reading some more here, though. Let's see, but yes, we should refund Bumbo those points because, yeah, those alerts don't work on the starting soon screen. Nora said, Lee, I'm so tired, batty bound. Oak said, Gusto is becoming one of my favorite voices. He's so whimsical, bro. Doc said, there's so many accents in this case. Bumbo said, phew, I am lucky. Oak said, the Italian being so playful and evil brings me much joy. Garlic said, was that ... the Pokemon theme? Oh, earlier it was. Nora said, I'm gonna pass out, I'm so exhausted. Magpie says, yes, it was. Oak said, bro is lying about staying the whole stream, Nora. Quicken said, imagine framing someone for murder, then finding out that someone worked for the company whose family his hero came from. Nice jorb. Vera said, pants on fire. Nora said, I genuinely feel like I'm gonna pass out. Oak said, Edgeworth saying, Gnurk phonetically also brings me great joy. Oak said, we have missed you, Longa. I missed all of you guys too. Crystal says, Robin. Bubbo says, hurry up. Quigata says, I think Discord killed Skype. Oh, maybe that's what it was, because Discord basically does everything Skype does, but more. Thank you, Toilet Duck. I will save I'm a Good Trained Pavlovian Dog, and I should probably play some more, although I am getting further behind. Where are we at now? We got like 15 minutes to the end. We can get this. I know 50,000 points are on the line.
Yeah, I left sometime after the investigation had wrapped up. I'd been meaning to go there to start my studies for a while, and thanks to the hard work I put in, my designs are now world class.
I mean, to be honest, if someone could do that in real life, that would be super impressive.
Whoa, that's amazing. You like it? Is yours. Mwah. Really? All right.
So, he spent some time in Zhangfa training. Okay, so yeah, let's go back and present the evidence on that. Let's, again, I did just save with Toilet Duck, but we're gonna save again. And then we're gonna present statute of limitations for dummies. Oh, what was that? Oh, Batmanon just gifted a sub to Eggland! Thank you so much, Batmanon! Eggland, you've got a sub back. Thank you, Batmanon. I don't know if you've been here the whole stream, but good to have you, Batmanon. We love you. Thank you. This makes me wonder if Batmanon also bet some points that to try and slow me down. But thank you, Batmanon. I will keep thanking you as I present the evidence. Statute of limitations for dummies. Thank you, Batmanon. Present. Objection. We got it. And there can't possibly be anything after this. There might be something where it's like, oh, we have to show you that, like, Samson Tangaroa still loves Judy Bound or something like that, but whatever. The statute of limitations for murder is subject to the following condition. The statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country, which means that the time you spent abroad doesn't count toward the total time under the statute.
Hang on, let me think about this for a second. Okay, 18 years. I was gone for one. Takes it down to 17 years. Okay, and then 15-year statute. So, okay, 15, 14. Then I was gone for the rest of the time. Well, fudge.
No way! So it's like someone hit pause while he was in Zangfa? It appears that there may be time left on the clock yet. But that will depend on how long you stayed in Zangfa, Mr. Gusto.
Hang on. I was there, it was 3 years exactly.
3 years? Hold on. Oh, nobody say anything until I've done the math. Okay.
18 minus 3 is 15.
The murder happened 18 years back.
The statute is 15 years. Okay, at the 3 overseas.
15 plus 3 makes exactly 18! Which means no way. Mr. Edgeworth, you did it! The statute hasn't expired after all! Well, it depends on the exact day, I guess.
Oh, crap. Okay, can I break it down? No, I'm just gonna...
Bingo, 18 years exactly. Glad you worked it out for yourself. You know, I'm going to jail. I'm going to be executed, but I appreciate someone who can do good math in their head. Good job, Kay. Here, have a little treat. I made it myself. It's good, because I'm good at this now. He's just been stringing us along this whole time. Why is he laughing? We're good, aren't we? We could arrest him now.
Hate to break it to you, little sis, but IS-7 went down at the end of December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, it's been 18 years and 4 months since Frost's murder.
So maybe we can just prove he was gone for longer than 3 years. If Gusto's stay in Zangfa really lasted 3 years on the nose, it's not enough. We're a few months short. Not enough? But my math. I mathed it in my head. What did I tell you? You can't touch me. I hate to admit it, but he'd read the board well when he made his confession. How unfortunate, Mr. Edgeworth. If only the statute had been suspended for another year. Oh! Those who would overturn the goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. Except you still know that you're, like, keeping an innocent man in prison and letting a guilty man go, Gavel. And you, Mr. Edgeworth, have failed. Oh, no! There must be something I can do. I knew it. Well, if the law can't bring Mr. Gusto to justice, then pull out the knife, stab, stab, stab. There. You know what? I'm getting a taste for this. Lick the blood off my nose. I cut my tongue. Oh, I cut my tongue. This is not good. Oh, this is so bad. Judes, what are you thinking? Oh crap! Is she gonna actually try and kill him?
Objection!
Objection! There's no need to go adding to your rap sheet just yet. Have we checked her for other weapons? Like, we should pat her down right now, and not like the kind I try to do with a hug, but like, you know, just for weapons. We're not done here, far from it, because there's still a way we can nail him. There is? Okay, was there like another exception in the statute of limitations book? The statute is suspended should the suspect flee to a foreign country, spend it for the time any accomplices indictment. Oh, at the end of their trial! There we go. I'd forgotten about that part. All right, Miles Areno, pep talk. I need you to think back over everything we know about the case. Gusto's overlooked one critical thing that you yourself were led to believe wrongly about. Which is, oh! So because the charges were changed from actual murder due to being an accomplice of murder, and he left before the end of the trial, so he wouldn't have known that. I mean, I guess he just didn't check the news, which I feel like you'd check the news about how the trial ended for the murder you committed. Which is, he wasn't there for Samson's last trial, remember? Best I can tell, he doesn't seem to know what the final verdict that day came down, verdict that came down that day is. Which means that there's still one way left to us. Crack open your statutes for dummies there and take another look. 17 years ago, they really did a number on Samson and framed him like a pretty picture. But if we make good use of that verdict now, we can make Gusto pay in full for what he's done. Fenda, are you coming on to me? Batmanon gifting a sub to Beowulf! Thank you, Batmanon! Thank you. I'm convinced now that Batmanon voted I would not get to the end of this case by the end of the 3-hour mark. But regardless, I appreciate the generosity. Thank you for gifting the sub to Beowulf. I should read some more chat. At least I'll read some YouTube briefly, because I'm only a few comments behind there. But thank you again, Batmanon. I really, really appreciate your generosity. And that you do it in a way that, like, helps other people in the community rather than just, like, directly to me. So thank you, Batmanon. Jeno says, yeah, he killed the kid. The kid just got cured of terminal illness too. Horrible, really, it was that incuritis. Oh. Jeno says, got him. Crystal said, yep, it's definitely the bits. It lagged laughing. Darn it, I gotta figure out a way to fix that then. Maybe if I eliminate the on-screen display for it so you just hear it rather than see it printed out, I can experiment with that a little bit. Derma said, define finishing the case, because if you mean when the breakdown happens, sure, but when the episode ends is still a bit away. I define it as when the episode ends. When it's doodle-doo-doodle-doo, and then you save, and it's time for the cutscene, so we might not make it. We got 6 minutes, though. Let's keep trying, though. Fenda, are you? And those who would overturn the goddess's judgment must be willing to pay the price should they fail. Samson's my client, Miles, and I can't bring myself to use the source of his pain as a weapon in this fight. So whether we play our last card or not, it's gonna have to be up to you. Oh, so we can just decide, let him rot in prison. Bringing Mr. Gusto to justice can only happen if I use the outcome of that hard-fought trial. So, should I raise an objection and play that card or not? Yeah! Raise an objection! Oh. My father and Mr. Von Karma, one sought to reveal the truth, the other to hide it. I know which path I choose to follow, the one that seeks to reveal the truth. This court has reached its final verdict. The record will state that Mr. Gusto has been found not guilty on all counts. Objection! No, Your Honor, Mr. Carmelo Gusto is absolutely guilty, and I refuse to let him walk away. His crimes are too unspeakable to go unpunished. Do you mean to suggest that you have grounds upon which to call for his arrest? I do. Now, to show Judge Gavelle something that proves the statute of limitations hasn't yet expired, I'll present the thing that Fender told me to look at. But how? Consider this piece of evidence, if you will. Oh, crap. They probably wanted me to present that he was convicted. Oh, crap. I gotta reload. Darn it. And just hammer through a bunch of stuff. So it's just to look in that, but that's not the evidence I present. It's, look at this piece of evidence. Okay. Oh, we're all the way back here. Okay, so we gotta do this. And we'll present this, and then I'll just hammer through everything. This is why you should always save. But this will give me a chance to read a bunch in the chat. Let's see. Nora says, I have Skype. I think I still have it too. I just don't use it. Doc said, the video that killed the radio star. Oak says, ad quote, oh, poopy diaper. Crystal adds a quote. Magpie says, oh, I also had a sandwich, lol. Avira said, cream cheese and cucumber is also delightful. Here says, I'm a big cream cheese enjoyer. Garlic said, cream cheese and cucumber is an amazing combo. Do you mean like a sandwich together or like dipping cucumber chips into cream cheese? Oak said, goodnight, Nora. Nora said, dang it, it didn't say my ew. Vera said, I love the guitar. Oak said, haha. Kay said, bud. Vera with a lurk. Quiggy said, nope, we still haven't watched John Wick yet. Crystal says, shush. A bunch of emotes. Quiggita says, ad quote, Hugh O'Connor is a lesbian furry. Garlic said, Hugh O'Connor is a lesbian furry. Magpie says, yes, it is for the specific kit. That's awesome. They do stuff like that with Transformers also. Give you upgrades for specific figures. Crystal adds a quote. Quick80 says 2:29:09. So I'm still almost a half hour behind. We got like, look at this. We got like 2.5 minutes. We can still totally do this, even though I screwed up. I was dumb. Tiff says, wait, who mentioned TMA? I wasn't paying attention. Oak says, hope you know I submitted that same quote, but slow mode didn't let me send it. Quick80 said, me, I was trying to get Oak into it. Doc said, TMA mentioned. Thank you, Toilet Doc. I should save here now, again, in case I'm wrong. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oak said, man, that ramen was really good. I want more so bad. Okay. So what we got to do is we got to present the IS-7 incident case file, which shows, where is it? That convicted as an accomplice based on his confession. So there we go. Present that. Very well. Is there a particular page of the IS-7 case file you wish for us to refer to? Wait, what was the title on that page? It was case overview, suspect data, right? Because, yeah, suspect data. Down the bottom. And they even had them in the wrong order, so I couldn't have just gotten the second one to the second page. I'd like to direct your attention to the page concerning the suspect. As you can see, Samson Tangaroa was convicted as an accomplice, and it took around 1 year from his indictment for the verdict to be reached. Yes, that does seem to be the case. The book you gave us details certain conditions pertaining to the statute of limitations for murder. One of them, as I mentioned, is that the statute is suspended if the suspect flees the country, and another states that the statute is suspended from the time of any accomplice's indictment to the end of their trial. What? Tangaroa was convicted as an accomplice? Yup, guess you were in Zhangfa when the verdict came down, and apparently the internet doesn't exist. Samson was convicted as an accomplice, not as the main perpetrator, which is clearly news to you, and not the good news either, am I right? But how can that be? We're going to see his breakdown. Can we at least get that in the next 30 seconds before the 3-hour mark?
The kangaroo wasn't an accomplice to anyone. He was innocent, and you know it.
Oh, we know it. It's what we've been trying to prove all along. And in a pleasing twist of fate, his wrongful conviction will be the very thing that sets him free. 10 seconds. If you spent 3 years in Zangfa, and your accomplice, Samson Tangaroa, was on trial for 1 year, it means you can still be charged with Mr. Frost's murder up to 19 years after the fact. In other words, time is up. The prediction's over. And we failed. I tried, chat. I tried so hard. Let's type in the prediction here. Choose outcome. Outcome is nah. Outcome is nah. I did not. And let's see who gets points awarded. It usually tell at least like one person, right? Honest Magpie, 55.3 thousand points. But that means I can read some chat now, right? Tiff says to Oak, listen to TMA, listen to TMA, listen to TMA, listen to TMA, listen to TMA. Bubble says, big buffer. Oak said in Gusto voice, oh snap, you just got owned. Queek80 says, I get the oddest feeling. I know what was causing the lags. It keeps happening during the bits. Maybe it is on screen. Maybe if I remove the on-screen display of it, because I think I can do that. I should try that and see if that fixes it for next stream. Although it also only happens some streams, right? But all the streams have bits usually. Let's see. Oh, and over on YouTube, Derma saying, "Oh, then no way in heck are you making it." And then hype music. We can still like. Okay, how far away is it to the ending now? We should at least get to the breakdown and then see how far over 3 hours we are. And then decide if we're gonna like get just the rest of the cutscene or not tonight, or just save that for next time. We're definitely not gonna be able to see the opening cutscene for Case 4 until next stream, that's for sure. Let's see. Tiff says hi. Gumshoe. Oak says, oh crap, it is Queen Katie said, I think I'm gonna start keeping track now that I have this suspicion. Oak said, no buffer this time. Queen Katie says, strange. Oak said, I don't think it's every time, but it might be sometimes. Like maybe the alert unloads after a certain amount of inactivity, and when it loads, turns back, it lags. Maybe it has to do with the length of the TTS. Maybe for really short ones it's fine, but maybe it struggles with really long ones. Queekita said, okay, I guess Twitch said, nah, that ain't it. And Tiff with the hydrate command. Thank you very much, Tiff. I'll do that right now. Oak says, it's still just a theory. A Twitch theory. Eglin says, made a meme, but forgot to go and clip the moment for it. Aww! Can I still see the meme? Crystal says, a stream theory, if you will. Eglin says, I put the meme in the AA chat anyways. I just find it silly. Quigata says, oh, yep, it lagged. Crystal says, it buffers during the bit. Oak said, it just buffered for me. I think it might be the bits. Bumble says, oh my. Crystal says, yep, definitely the bits. Eglin said, 100% the bits. Quigata said, right at, it might overload your computer. Doc said, bits, bits, bits. Maybe I just need to, like, shorten the amount of, like, allowed characters, because if it is longer, I can maybe shorten how long they're able to be. Doc says, bits, bits, bits. Oak said, whoops, sorry guys, laughing. Bubba said, funny, did it just go down? Tiff said, what happened? Queekita said, Oak murdered the stream, guys, refresh. Crystal said, refresh, guys, stream ain't down yet. Doc says, refresh. Queekita said, okay, refresh, fixed it, sorta. Crystal says, Twitch is back to normal. Bumble said, yeah, his computer is struggling, no chat. Eglin said, wow, these 12 pixels look great. Crystal said, no chat, I know what to do. And then there's emote only for a bit. Crystal said, stream became normal again for me. Oh no, a bit. Bubba says, oh gosh. Oak said, it's so far behind for me. Tiff said, okay, I've got to get going. I've got work in the morning, night all. Good night, Tiff. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for the info also at 100 Line, Last Defense Academy. I really appreciate it. Queen said, maybe do it through Twitch alerts, because that's what I do for mine. Do they have a TTS on just Twitch alerts for it? I should check and see. Crystal says, okay, the butts don't lag this time for me. Oak said, the bits only just sent a minute later for me. Quigata said, did you refresh? Eglin said that one did fine. Beowulf said, my partner just went to sleep. Good night, Beowulf's partner. Oak says, I don't think we should get rid of TTS. My best recommendation, since probably need a new CPU for Windows 11 anyway, a better CPU might also help. And it might still not be the TTS, might be that the specific, might not be that specific explanation. That's just my theory on why it happens. Maybe I need to have that fundraiser to afford a CPU upgrade for my computer sooner than I thought. Crystal says, Batman on! Bubba said, breaking my chat strike to thank Batman on. Oak said, it could just be a coincidence with it lagging for 2 donos in a row. Quigator says, Batman! Doc says, Batman on. Eglin said it was completely zoned out. Thank you, Batman on hearts. Magpie says, the light kit instructions are too complicated for 9:30 on a Thursday night, so I'm gonna figure that out in the weekend, laughing. And another clip. 3 for 3 with Oak's clips here. This will give me a timestamp to see how far behind I am. 15 minutes, not bad, said I love Logan's Gusto voice. So let's check out this. And let's get to his breakdown, then we'll be able to catch up and chat, right? I'm just gonna...
Bingo, 18 years exactly. Glad you worked it out for yourself. You know, I'm going to jail. I'm going to be executed, but I appreciate someone who can do good math in their head. Good job, Kay. Here, have a little treat. I made it myself. It's good, because I'm good at this now.
Thank you very much for the clip. I appreciate that. I'm having fun with Carmelo Gusto. So yeah, Dermot said breakdown definitely ending in about 15 minutes at your pace. Let's see how long it takes us to even get to the breakdown then. Let's see how it goes, okay? And Oak says, Batman the GOAT. I low-key hope 50k points get distributed to more, so more people can do the evil redeems. Doc said, I'm very glad I only gave 100 points. Quigator said, I feel like someone is about to be very rich. Law. Magpie says, final verdict says, woman whose opinion is in no way official. Just 4 more minutes before the 3-hour mark. Beowulf says, ooh, we just got some of the VA announcements for Raito Remastered. Raito is Stephen Fu. Goto Doji is Ray Chase. He also played Goto in Nocturne HD. Dawn M. Bennett is Tei Asakura. She played Aegis in P3R. Kaya is Kaylee Millis Natsuki in P3R. Rasputin, the Russian Dark Summoner, is played by Chris Okawa. And Munakata is played by Joe Zaja. Kenji in P3R. Bumble says, oh no, Quigator with keyboard slam. Doc says, gulp. Quigator said, I was going to redeem a toilet, but I was a minute off. I'm so mad. Bumble said, well, whoever voted no, enjoy your split 50k bits. Doc said, a tragedy. Oak said, I'm so sorry. 1 voters, you were kind of effed. Quigator said, maybe Zhang Fa doesn't have internet. Maybe they just censor all news sites or something. Let's see if we can get to the breakdown. In other words. Oh, it should be right after this, right? The statute of limitations hasn't expired at all! The goddess's judgment is infallible, but that of her servants, appears, is not. It seems the prosecutor in charge of this case may have erred? Unbelievably, we may have no choice but to instigate a full inquiry.
No! How could you do this? You weren't supposed to be able to.
Objection! Oh, it's Fender. 18 years. That's a long time to let somebody else suffer for your crimes. It's time to pay the piper, Gusto, and not a moment too soon.
But I'm finally the greatest. My brilliance has been recognized. I gave up everything for this. Everything. Even my son.
More's the pity. But you can't run from the law forever, because the bills come due at last. Also, have you said why there's a seahorse on the back of your hand? Have we discussed that? No? I'm curious, but I don't know if this is the appropriate time to ask. Well, that was kind of cool. Hey, did I just miss him kill his doughy clone? What happened? That looked cool. I missed a break. Oh, it's my favorite part. Oh, no, this is a fast forward. Mr. Gusto's all set for his trip downtown, sir. Oh, good. Which means it's your turn next, right? I suppose so. Judes. I am so sorry, everybody. I have caused you all so much trouble. But thank you. Thank you so much for bringing Mr. Gusto to justice at last. I mean, to be fair, it's like It was her actions that allowed us to catch him, and just in time, too. I'm afraid there's no escaping the consequences of your actions, Ms. Bound. But those actions were born of the legal mistakes that were made all those years ago. We all know that. So, allow me to apologize in return, on behalf of the prosecution. Oh no, I have no one to blame but myself for it all, starting with those sculptures. Hey, Judes. You think maybe you might want me to represent you? Both in court and in like your home as like a husband or something. I was gonna say the bedroom, but I wanted to be more wholesome than that. I'm not some nervous newbie anymore. And there's no way I'm letting you take the rap for everything. Oh, look at that! What was that face? Oh, look at those tears. They're gonna get married. Oh, I'd be honored. Thank you, Mr. Fender. Do you think we can get to the end of the case? Let me read some more in the chat. Let's see. Oak says, rip. Garlic said, oh, we're officially at 3 hours then. Doc says, rip. Oak says, Magpie got a payday. Quickgator said, salute to my funny hee-hee betting points. Magpie says, I think I was the only one to vote no, and I put a lot of points into that. Doc said, shake my head, how could you, Logan, unfollowing and never watching streams again? Aw, Doc, but I love you, Doc. Oak said, I think we should finish the case tonight, if possible. So do you guys think it's possible? Oak said, maybe it's when bits go past that TTS girl can't say, like if you write too much and TTS girl gets cut off, huh?
Doesn't that remind you of Ellen Wyatt?
It does! I was actually gonna mention that a little bit, except instead of like streaming that, they're just like all welled up. It's kind of a little gross that they're not streaming, that they're staying just welled there like that much. I don't think, because you've seen it sometimes where like an anime character have the tears, they're just like, but I don't think I've ever seen them that big before. That's a lot. But yeah, she does remind me a bit of Ellen White, who also was adorable. And thank you very much for the 10-bit. So that was a short TTS, Vero. Did that cause any lag? So we can keep experimenting, see if like short ones versus long ones. And yeah, maybe I just need to put a shorter character limit on TTSs or something. Let's see. Over on YouTube, let's see, maybe someone else there might be saying more quickly. Dermo says, no wonder Von Karma got away with his antics for so long if it takes this much just to turn a verdict. Geno says, I forgot how cute the new overworld sprites were. Oh, they are. Dermo says, my headcanon is Augusto planned to use the dessert as a decoy to escape, but he was unsatisfied with the results, so he had to destroy it. I like that. That's fun. And Dermo says, yes, it's not that far. Okay, so yeah, let's keep going. Let me read a couple more comments in the chat, though, first, before we do this. Oak said, Bumble says, I'm absolutely not mad, just disappointed. Oh, but that's almost worse. Quickita said, you can make the alert say its written message. I can send an example clip from my stream, thanks to, yeah, if you could, I'd love to see that and maybe check and look into that. We might have to, we'll figure something out. I do want to experiment more, because to be honest, it'd be easier just to set maybe a character limit to it, but we'll see. Oak said, the bad part about doing the fundraisers sooner, I don't get money until September. I want to be able to help with it. Well, I think the deadline for the Windows support is October, so that'd be cutting it kind of close. Oak says, the Gusto voice is making one of my favorite characters in the game. He's not the first person to have that voice. Eldoon from Eldoon's Noodles also had it, but he was a bit less animated. Weekgator said, it's a good thing that my one spoiler clip is only for the very, very end of the case. Oak says, Goto Doji is played by Sukuna. Oh, from Jujutsu Kaisen? Is that the voice actor? Rast says, hey-oh, I'm back. What did I miss? The prediction ended, and as you can see, I didn't make it to the end, but I'm close. Oak said, I don't even know who the character is. I just love Ray Chase. Rast says, yo, Edgeworth finally did it. Did he solve the mystery? He did. Oak said, breakdown incoming. Woo. Oak said, this is a delightful breakdown. I'm so happy. Garlic says, breakdown. And Vera with the unlurk. Thank you for the unlurk, Vera. Welcome back. And Queen Katie says, I ship them so hard. Well, with this, I can see why. Oh, I'd be honored. Thank you, Mr. Fender. I mean, look at that goofy smile. If a girl ever like smiled like that at me, especially like trying to cover it bashfully with a fan, hopefully not with like tears in her eyes, I'd be like, maybe she actually likes me. Oh, going for a hug. Going for a hug. Uh-oh. Oh, that wasn't a hug. It was a sure hug. Hey, sorry, man, but you gotta come with me now. I know that the people are shipping you with Eddie Fender, but apparently this is the way it's gotta be. My gay bird ran off with half of my belongings, so I'm your husband now.
Of course. Curtsy. Curtsy.
Can you teach me how to curtsy? You know, as a courtesy to me. You see, I have good qualities for marriage.
Judge Gavel, why did you lie to us? Lie? What are you talking about? You implied that there was no case for a retrial, but as we've proven, that wasn't true. Surely anyone truly committed to seeing justice done would have called one as soon as the body was found.
And this is a good point. We're finding out that she doesn't seem to be as good of a person as I was hoping. I still think she might be like being blackmailed or bribed or something like that by someone in Zhangfa. But still,
I am under no obligation to answer such questions. And you clearly have no intention of doing so either. Truly, you are proving to be quite a threat to the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. As such, you give me little choice but to report back to your on your continued transgressions,
which every single time turn out to be correct. I mean, he's an excellent prosecutor. What can he say?
No doubt you will be called to appear before the committee in due course.
Is that what's the final case is going to be? Us versus the committee? I gotta breathe, hang on.
Now, I must be on my way. Curtsy?
Curtsy?
What the heck? And after you caught the real killer and everything, that was something even OJ couldn't do! Isn't that what prosecutors are supposed to do? Regardless of how it may all play out, I will never regret what we accomplished here today, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, can you adopt me too? You seem good at this.
Yes?
Why did you stick your nose in this case anyway? You weren't even on the job.
My job is to bring the truth to light, Mr. Winner. Not only as a prosecutor, but as a person.
Oh, I don't get it. Wait, what?
I wouldn't expect you to understand, not as long as you believe that closing a case makes you a winner.
That's, going way over my head. And I even have an ahoge that should be able to catch it with its hook. I'm going home. I gotta take a poo-poo, and I get scared of doing it in public bathrooms. Phew.
What was all that about? Eustace still has a lot to learn, is all.
Milesy Wilesy! Yes? I just wanted to say old Greggy Pegleg would have been proud of you today. Oh, look at me tearing up. And thanks for helping poor Sammy Poo-Poo.
Of course.
Yeah, hey, Edgy! Looks like you cleared everything up, huh? Just want to remind you I still exist. Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here. So, what happened exactly? I was kind of busy sketching.
Oh! This is gonna be for the end of the chapter thing. He's gonna have a sketch of like Edgeworth standing there all triumphant. It's gonna look really cool. I hope. Because Larry, despite being a monster, has good art skills. I want to see him do a glamour shot of Edgeworth winning.
Wait, where did Judy and Verity go? I miss them and their boobs. Wow, you really weren't paying attention, were you?
Though I am loath to admit it, Larry's sketches did come through for us on more than one occasion. Not that I'm about to tell him that.
Quit Dude, with the glaring, will you? Whatever I did, I'm sorry.
Calm down, Larry. I wasn't glaring at you.
You totally were. You're just like your pop. He was a terrible liar, too.
He was?
Listen, I'm gonna head out. Need to fill Samson in on what went down today. You want to come with? You know, see if more bad stuff happened to his hair? See if he's a baldy now?
Yes, of course. I hope the next case isn't like we get to the police station and Samson Tangaroa has been murdered or something.
Great, then I'm coming too.
Oh, there's more cutscene. We are gonna get to see if he's bald. Is he gonna be bald?
April 2nd, 2:56 p.m. Detention Center Visitors Room.
I thought we're 20 minutes over. Are you guys okay that we've gone so long tonight? I thought we'd be done. Oh boy.
So, what's Mr. Tangaroa like? I can't wait to finally meet him.
Oh, he's a real sweetheart. You'll love him. I wonder if he'll have visibly aged other than hair stuff. Even while locked up, he can't help but make all sorts of cookies and cakes for everyone. Maybe he'll be out of shape. He'll be like all chubby and fat now or something. Although some people like gain muscle in prison, don't they? That's why 3 p.m. cake extravaganza is a thing for prisoners and guards alike.
Really? That sounds awesome! You think there'll be any left for us to try?
Didn't we find a few slices of chocolate cake in the prison the other day? Oh, they were Tangaroa's? Let's also save. I like that they tied that back. That's actually really cool, huh? It was foreshadowing.
No, we are not okay. We all hate you.
Why do you hate me, chat? Why do you hate me? But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Vero. I don't hate you. I think you're awesome. Didn't we find a few slices of chocolate cake in the prison the other day? And again, let me know if the shorter TTSs aren't giving the same lag problems. Could they have been some of Mr. Tangaroa's baked goods? Oh, no, still white hair, but he has a more aged face.
Gummy, what are you doing here?
Here, remember the kid I killed earlier? Yeah, apparently I'm arrested for that too now.
I heard you were all coming to see Mr. Tangaroa, so I volunteered to escort him.
Look at those wrinkles.
Hello, new friends. I'm Samson Tangaroa.
Let's also save again. I need to find out how long this cutscene is going to be. Is this going to be a long cutscene? Is it going to be longer than like 10 minutes? We're already way over time tonight. And my voice is getting weaker. Quiggita says, oh, hey, Vero, we lost the prediction, and we still have a theory that bits are what did some lagging. Oak said, the case was actually super fun. I like seeing them amending the mistakes of the past. It's a super cool concept. Vero with an F in the chat. Oak said, those tears look like whipped cream or something. Eglin said, they look like those tears of crybaby dolls. Ooh. Quiggita said, no lag for Vero's, maybe because like it was short, yeah. Oak said, maybe his TTS girl just loved Vero. Women love Vero. Maybe his TTS girl is in Vero's gaggle of women. Vera said, I'm that good. TTS girl is the OG girl in the gaggle. Rast says, past the 3-hour mark, huh? Didn't even notice. I know time flies, huh? And I've missed you guys so much. I've been enjoying hanging out with y'all this stream so much. Oak said, it just buffered for a bit for me, so it may not be TTS. Is it treacherous to say I don't really like Gavel, even though even before her stuff on this case? No, I think that's fair. She already was seeming like she's the bad guy. But it seems like most of the time in these games, when you meet the bad guy, you later find out, oh, they're really good at heart, but they just are misguided in some way. But it turns out that she's really awful here. Again, there might be a reason. Maybe she's being blackmailed or whatever, but it's still awful. Doc said, I used to actually hate Gavel, and I definitely still have my hate rant I made for her during this case, but she gets better. Crystal says, oh, shoot, we did we have raid suggestions yet? Not yet! Oak says, oh crap, we need those. Vera said, why is everyone curtsying? Doc said, a very curtsy stream. Oak says, Eustace, just like me, for real. Garlic said, for courtesy, huh? Doc said, a hoge, and a hook gay. I like that, Doc. Oak said, why is Larry better at art in this game than in Spirit of Justice? Well, you just need to wait until you see him when he starts art in the third game, in Trials and Tribulations, and his art is just atrocious. So he's improved. Oh, that wasn't that long before this game, though. Vera says he traces in this game, which is great because he's drawn from people in a room. I'd love to think he runs up to them and is like tracing them, like.
Muted Wanda. Boo.
How long was I muted for? I think I had coughed and then I gotta scroll back up to where I was muted. There's a pin message saying muted. Crap, what was the last thing I said? I think I saw people talking about curtsying. Garlic said for courtesy. Doc said a hook gay, and I said I like that. Oak said, why is Larry better at art than Spirit of Justice? And I said he was really bad in Trials and Tribulations. And let's see, and then Vera said he traces in the game. Could you guys see what I was talking about when I said tracing? If he smashes the paper up against someone's face and traces that way? And then Crystal posted raid suggestions, and I was just copying those over. And Quiggy said, I'm okay with overtime, lol. Oak said, yeah, overtime is fine. Boba said, yeah, still disappointed though. Huh?
You were talking about Larry running up and tracing people.
Okay, so it wasn't that far behind. So thank you very much for the 10 bits. So I think I'm pretty much caught up there. Let me take a look over on YouTube as well. And Derma says, rip, links don't work. Really? Because I post like the link tree here sometimes. Do the links not work when you post them? What were you going to post a link to? Said, forgot which Twitch say YouTube chat accepts you. Wait, forget what Twitch says. YouTube chat accepts you. Thank you, Dermo. I love you guys in the YouTube chat as well. Derma says, no, not over 10. Audio is gone. Check your mic. Jenna says, yeah. I think it's because I had to cough, so I muted it and forgot to unmute. I said, and he's not that bad at art. And then Derma says, 20 seconds. You missed the link. Wait, 20 seconds? I missed the link? It's up? I don't see it there, which is odd. For some reason, it's not showing up on my stream. Huh. Well, I'm sorry that I can't see the link for some reason. That's weird. But okay, let me read a couple more comments and we'll get back in the game. We'll see if we can get to the end of this case tonight. I'm sorry I can't see your link, Dermo. Can you tell me what the link is, though? Let's see. Oak says, wait, have we not seen Tanjiro in the current timeline? We have not. Part of me wishes they'd waited to have his hair color change like this until now. It's weird that it did that overnight in the past. Garlic said, nah, we haven't, I think. Eglin said you got rid of the VTuber. That's why. Oh, that's the problem. I'm sorry, Eglin. I know you missed the VTuber me. Oak said, Vero lied. We love you, Logan. Then deleted by Vero. Vera said, nuh-uh. Oak said, Logan, do you read that deleted message? Vera just hates me. Doc said, we love you. Boba says, oh my, he still has his full hair. Oak said, he looks basically the same. Also, Vera, why do you hate me? How can I get you to love me again, Vero? Boba says, I'm just gonna say he would likely be an amazing grandpa. He looks like such a friendly, like, even though he's old, he's also still chiseled, too. Oak said he's just mewing harder and has a bit of wrinkles. And then Quiggy says, you're mute. Bumble said, muted, no. Raz said, you're muted. Doc said, mute, Robo. Eggman said, Logan. Crystal said, Logan. Garlic said, can y'all not hear him? Oak said, isn't Spirit of Justice after AAI 2 in the timeline, though? Why is Larry getting worse at art? And yeah, maybe he had a hand injury. Carpal tunnel? Something like that? Hang on, I gotta breathe for a second. I'm starting to get hiccups. There we go. Crystal says, we can hear him now. Bubba said, about a minute or two. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get to the end then. We can totally do this. Hello, new friends. I'm Samson Tangaroa. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service. Look, I can do a bow without taking off my hat. And I'm Mr. Edgeworth's trusty sidekick.
Hey, Faraday!
Oh, it's Tangaroa.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you both.
Miles here is Gregory's son.
Oh, is that so? Your father was very kind to me and fought so hard for my case. And failed. Really let me down. But in the end, I betrayed him. I made a false confession and...
Don't worry, Mr. Tangaroa. Mr. Fender has explained everything to me. Sure did, and now we're here to tell you the truth about what happened 18 years ago. truth. Oh, thank goodness we didn't have to sit through them explaining it. Judy did all that for me. Crazy kid racked her brain for 18 years until she finally figured out how to set you free. What can I say? Turns out she really would do anything for you. Oh, Judy, I never did anything to deserve such devotion. Come now, Mr. Tangaroa. I think we all know that's not true. Okay, I feel like it's going to ask me to present something to show Tangaroa's devotion. And I don't know what that's going to be, so let's save before in case I screw this up. The bond between the two of you has held strong for all these years, after all. You think so? Well, doesn't she, like, visit him every day or every week or something like that? I guess I'd better show him. Which piece of evidence is proof of the bond Mr. Tangaroa and Ms. Bound share? The proof of Bound's bond. The bound bond, bonds bound, bound, bond. Okay, gallery pamphlet is the fact that she, like, owns the place now and has taken care of it for him. The winnowing photo, the blowtorch, the luminous cloth, the Pisces statue, the poison gas ingredients, the ultimate cookbook. Did we ever, like, use the frame finger marks? I think we used at one point to say we hadn't figured it out, but I don't know. That photo, the cart, the teapot, Larry's sketches. Maybe it's the chocolates handmade by Bound, slightly melted after being in her pocket. So we can probably say that, maybe. The Gemini case analysis. Let's try the chocolates I did just save.
Take that!
Those chocolates? Judy made them, didn't she? Yes, she did. They're super delicious and sweet. Ms. Bound continued making them just as you taught her, even after that fateful day, so that there would always be some waiting for you when you finally come home. Judy. Oh, see, I have much smaller tears, ones that look more natural and realistic. I bet they're beyond super sweet then, aren't they? Very much so, I'm afraid. I don't like sweets. I insulted her chocolates. I only wish we could hand them to you, but here, let me unwrap one. Heating it up, and I'll smear it all over the glass. Hey, don't worry, sir. I'll make sure he gets them later. Which would be a clear breach of prison policy. Not that I have the authority now to stop him anyway. Oh, thank you very much. You know, Detective, something about you reminds me of Detective Bad. It's my trench coat, isn't it? Yeah, it's cool, huh? Yeah. Really, pal? Because I look up to him a lot. He's my role model. You don't say. It seems fate likes to bring people of all sorts together, huh? We never got to see the police officer that was there before Bad? You hang in there, Samson. Just a little longer. I should be able to get you out soon. I'm sorry it's taken so long. Nobody should have to wait 18 years to get justice. Bow, not a curtsy. Don't be silly, Eddie. I'm the one who should be saying sorry. Or rather, I was gonna say thank you. Yeah, thank you. Truly. Samson. Well, I guess it's my turn to wait for Judy to come home now. Always an inmate in the family these days. I'd better make sure there's something delicious on the table for her when she finally walks through that door. Unless she has a long sentence and I die before then. Well, then that won't be my problem. Don't let me down, Eddie. Leave it to me, big guy. Yay. Is that the end? Oh, no, there's still more. The IS-7 incident. It's been 18 long years, but this case we'd inherited from my father is finally coming to a close. Oh, is that the end? Oh, no. Oh, it's going to be a tease for the next chapter? What? No. Hey, Miles. Thanks for today. And sorry for forcing you to make the final call like that. Not at all. I simply made the call that felt right to me. What you guys talk about? You know how Samson was wrongly convicted? We had to pretend that he wasn't in order to nail Gusto. But to use his false conviction against him, even to save him. As a lawyer, I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, I can see that.
But now that Gusto's behind bars, I can finally get that wrongful conviction overturned. Yes, and I'm sure you will.
Wait a minute. Does this mean that even if you were only doing what's right, if the false conviction had been overturned before today, Mr. Gusto would have gotten away scot-free?
Yep, that's what we folks in the trade like to call a legal contradiction. The law is far from perfect.
Because of things like legal contradictions, right?
Yeah, but you never know. Things might change. Maybe someday, a disgraced former defense attorney will try to institute a jurist system that'll change it all. And then, shortly after that, he'll have his badge back and the juries will be gone again. I don't know why. I don't know what happened there. The law's always evolving, just like us humans. Your Uncle Eddie and Miles Areno included. Am I right? Was that too much? Call myself your uncle? The potential for growth and change in people and the law. Huh. So, Miles, are you gonna keep fighting crime as a prosecutor or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you've got a big decision ahead of you. One only you can answer. I hope this game doesn't end with him like deciding to become a defense attorney and then just later on he's like, nope, chief prosecutor. I know. I think he's gonna realize that he can help people as a prosecutor too. That he's gonna reform the system from within. Well, let's just say I won't complain if you show up at the office one day. Enjoying the Fender theme. And on that note, it's time for me to skedaddle. Oh, yeah. I owe you big time, and I always repay my debts. But for now, that's right, I look away and I pull my hat down. I'm so cool. Thanks again for today. I mean it. Peace out, yo. It's like I'm walking away from an explosion.
Did he seem kind of in a hurry to get out of here to you?
He did. And honestly speaking, I'm the one who owes him a debt of gratitude. After all, he gave me the chance to reckon with my father's final case. Was he leaving to go see Judy? Oh crap, I hope he's not going to be like a victim in one of the next cases. That'd be really sad. I like him, and I want him and Judy to be happy together, and him to help her and everything. When I was a boy, all I ever dreamed of was becoming an attorney like my father. But then, during my time with Mr. Von Karma, I learned the way of a prosecutor instead. Eventually, with the help of some good friends, I found my own voice and a new way to live. But now my career as a prosecutor is at risk of being taken away from me. It may be time to take another long, hard look at how I want to live my life, whether I like it or not. That's the end? Yeah? Give me a bottle of doodle-a-doodle. Oh no, there's more! April 2nd, Edgeworth and Koloffs. Oh, I bet we're gonna see, remember the beginning of the case? It started with him having the picture of himself and Gregory. It was either on the mantle or above the TV or something like that. I bet he's going to take the picture that he took with Miles Edgeworth and put it next to it. And it'll have come full circle. It'll be like pottery. It'll rhyme. Hey, Gregory. Sorry for reporting in so late. It may have taken 18 years. But we're finally in a position to prove Samson's innocence. All thanks to your boy, Miles. I couldn't have done it without him. You should have seen him. The way he fought for the truth gave me chills. It was like I was watching you. See, there's the picture. And we're gonna pan over and see the other one, I bet. Or he'll like set it next to him even if it's not in a frame. Look, I know I'm not half the attorney you were, but those guiding principles you tried to instill in me, I like to think I'm embodying them now as I carry on your legacy. Here's hoping. Ah, he did the thing! Your boy will be joining me in that soon. And he's doing the same pose and everything. That is a really sweet way to end the case. I like that. Am I going to fight crime as a prosecutor or help people as an attorney? What is the right answer? Which path should I choose? Doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. The end. Achievement unlocked. Turnabout legacy. Would you like to save your poggers? Yes, save my poggers. Save my poggers. Save my poggers, save my poggers. Now I can also read some more in the chat. Let's see. Bumble says about a minute or two. Rast says, I am streaming too, though I'm not sure episode I guess is considered spoiler stuff. Veer said, read my G1 review. It's been months. A joke, by the way. Oh, thank you for the reminder. I kind of got caught up in other things. Vera said, joke, by the way. I love you, man. Love you too, Vero. Quicken said, did Logan just trick himself with Bumbo saying how long the muting was? Lol. Oak said, I'll take it. We get more longa. Quicken said, I do have a guy. Just yell potato anytime. I do have faith in you, though. Oak says, haha, Judy. Quicken said, Crystal says, Judy at Oak. Quicken said, yeah, they never show Ian Sideman at all in the game. Okay. Is that K? Is that a silhouette of K? It looks a little bit different. Are we going to... maybe it's like... We're going to meet... We've talked about Kay's dad. Do we know anything about Kay's mom? Are we going to meet Kay Faraday's mom? A turnabout Forsaken. Or maybe it'll just be a Kay-centric thing. But yeah, I need to catch up in chat. Oak said, but thank you, Queen Katie. So I don't have to keep holding out hope about seeing Ian Sideman. Oak said, oh yeah, bad is my role model. Oh yeah, bad is my role model. I want to be a bad detective. Bubba said she might be out sooner than him. Oak said, no, I missed. Oak said, I was going to say if Longa stayed more caught up to chat, Logan could have beaten the prediction. But in hindsight, no, he could not have been. It's like 40 minutes extra. Crystal said, I think 2 minute slow mode is reasonable how far he is. Oak said, I mean, he isn't far behind. We're just overtime. Okay with slow mode. Vera said, pottery that rhymes. Because you know that's a reference to, right? It's an old joke too. There was a behind the scenes thing for, I believe it was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, for the making of it, where George Lucas was talking about some Star Wars thing. And he said, it's like poetry. It rhymes. And for some reason, people started posting it instead of saying poetry, they were saying pottery. And Quick Gaty with a clip saying, here's the final Case 3 spoiler clip, by the way. So load this up. This is for 25 days ago. I'm 25 days behind, titled Photo Perfect. Oh, it's probably going to be the photo thing. Your picture.
Oh, yes. Oh, come on, Mr. Rio. Let's get a shot of the both of us. Well, all right, then. It would be a shame to waste a good hair day. Dude, you're wearing a hat. It's a good hat day.
Oh, is this...
I hope...
was his hat off in the photo? Because did we see a picture at the beginning of this of Fender and Gregory Edgeworth? I can't remember. I think we did. Oh, is this where I'm gonna? I hope it's say. I say we'll take a picture with. But I know that Fender took a picture of him and Miles Edgeworth. I hope they like parallel and they just match up. And so at some point I want like a crossfade between the two. Okay, we didn't get a crossfade. We got a pan. This one, and then boom, now it's. But a pan is close enough to a crossfade, right? Ready? Say cheese. And then we didn't see it. You don't get to see it. We eventually saw it, though. Thank you, Queen Katie, for the spoiler clip. I appreciate that. I'm so close to catching up. I can see the end of sight, and then I'll check YouTube chat as well. I know I've been bleeding like lurkers on both Twitch and YouTube, I think, since this wound down. Oak said, this is actually a really good case. It is. It had a couple of hiccups in there, but it was really good. Doc said, one of my favorites ever. Vera said, oh boy, is that it's that case. A turnabout Forsaken. Quickett said, oh, I wish we met her mom. We need more parental lore in these games. Crystal says, oh. Oak said, that was easy my favorite case in the game so far, but I'm really excited for the next case. I've heard things about it. Quickett said, like, what about Miles' birth mom? We have trauma for the dad, but what about the mom? They're 3 hours, 43 minutes, and 53 seconds. I caught up to chat for the first time of the night on Twitch, that is. Still not over on YouTube, so let me check over on YouTube. Let's see. Derma says, it's up. I don't know why the message didn't show. Yeah, I can't see it for some reason. I'm sorry. Jenna says, the family was found literally 36 years ago. Derma says, with his pay, Gumshoe's coat probably also has holes, just not the same kind as Bad's. Jenna says, well, they both only have one coat probably, unless Bad has several with gunshots in them. Derma says, I love this ending. It's a rare, imperfect resolution, which doesn't happen often in the series, but they tend to be the best cases. Jenna says, I agree. It's incredibly sweet. Derma says, the great Ace Attorney has a case like that. I won't say which for spoiler reasons. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that one. By the way, while I check out the raid suggestions, let me mention a few things. First of all, our schedule. Oh, crap. I didn't update the schedule command. I'm sorry. But for our schedule, we stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, currently alternating between this, Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit, and Metaphor Refantasio. So that means Metaphor is going to be tomorrow, and we'll pick up on Sunday where we're leaving off here. Also, there's a link tree I just posted in the Twitch chat. I'm going to cross-post this over to YouTube. On YouTube, let me know if this shows up, or do links not show up even when I post them? That includes the Discord invite link, my YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all the good things. Feel free to make use of them or ignore them as you see fit. I am going to pick out one of the raid suggestions here, whoever has the fewest number of viewers. Which looks like that's actually going to be pretty easy because 2 of them have 2-digit numbers and 1 of them has only 1. So that's probably the one that we are going to pick for the raid in just a minute. But yes, thank you all for the lurkers. Also, you guys for sticking through that to the end. Those who didn't leave, even though we lost a bunch of them in the last couple of minutes here. But that's understandable. If you left and you're watching the VOD, don't feel bad that you left, because the case was winding down. Oak said, thank you for the we missed you longa stream. It made me smile. I missed all of you guys too. Like, anytime I have to go that long without doing a stream, I really get hankering to hang out with you guys. And it was especially tough because I was like resting to recuperate and recover from my cold so much that I didn't even really check Discord, and I wasn't talking with you guys. And I missed you all so much. Chris said, thank you for the very quiet because you got muted lol stream. Quick said, thank you for the very deliciously salty stream. Okay, I should go ahead and initiate the raid. So let's go ahead and type that in, and we'll also do our raid message. I'm sure someone else has already posted it, but I'll put that down so that I'll be able to copy paste that as well. Oh, I did it right after Crystal did it. Thank you very much, Crystal. I appreciate that. Let's see. Oak said, I know I say it every time, but I really do mean it every time. These streams make me so happy, and I'm always so excited to be here. Thank you. Like, you guys make me happy. I've said this dozens of times before. I could play these games by myself, but I do this because I enjoy hanging out with all of you. So thank you all so much. I love and appreciate you all. You all are amazing. You make my day. You bring me so much joy. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we get his head CL next time for metaphoring times? I'm excited for that too. I've missed Gallica so much. Crystal said everyone spam the schedule to brush it in that he didn't update the schedule. How dare you? 4 days behind. Oh, right. You were sick. Garlic said, I gotta go, but it was so nice seeing the stream. Night and night. Thank you so much for being here, Garlic. Good night. Crystal says, night, night, Garlic. Magpie says, good night, Logan. Congratulations again on your win, Magpie. Can we get it said, bye bye, y'all. Good night, everybody. Raz says, bye bye, Logan. Oak with some emotes. Viewer said, bye bye, chat. Good night, everybody. Over on YouTube, let's see. Dermo says, I think only your links show up. Adios. See y'all next investigation stream. Yes, that'll be Sunday. Don't forget that. Metaphors tomorrow for anyone who wants to be there. Crystal said, bye. Oak said, love y'all. Good night. I love and appreciate you all as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It means the world to me. I'm also nervous when I miss a bunch. It's like, will everyone have like forgotten about me already? I know it's just imposter syndrome saying that, but it really means so much to me that you all were here. Thank you so much. Enjoy the raid. See y'all next time. Good night. Love and appreciate you all. Bye, everybody. Bye. 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 Oh, and over on YouTube, Jano says, see you guys. Yes, for those watching the VOD or over on YouTube, good night as well.